questions and answers later on in the day. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, guys. Welcome aboard the Joecomotive. My name is Joe Fails, and this is twitch.tv/JoeNeverFails, where we help the average Joe. It's your everyday gamer, both inside and outside of gaming. If you guys are tuning in with us this morning, I'm incredibly excited and incredibly proud to be able to give you a very, very special stream, a very special day of content centered around the universe of Star Wars: The Old Republic. If you guys have been watching the channel for the last couple of months, you know I started playing SWTOR about 2.5 months ago. From the first day I started playing, I fell in love with the game. I have been alluding towards setting up something like this today, and today, here it is. We're here. Literally, today is the day. I want to let you guys know, in terms of like daily goals and everything on the stream side of things, I don't care. If anybody who's watching the broadcast wants to follow, thank you. If anybody who wants to subscribe to the stream today, thank you very much. If you guys want to send bits, thank you very much. If you guys want to send support, thank you very much, but I'm not going to talk about that for the rest of the day. I don't care. Today is a day about content centered around the Star Wars: The Old Republic community and being able to give back in a really big way. So, for you guys who are tuning in this morning, I'm streaming live from Bioware Austin. This is probably one of the coolest live streams that I will ever do in my entire career. It's definitely one of the coolest streams I've ever done to date, for sure. We've done some cool stuff with Final Fantasy. I was flown across country to do day one Final Fantasy 15 reveal from Square Enix Studios, and this is hands down. I'm so much more excited for this. This is on my channel. This is live here, and we've got some really exciting things for you guys in chat. So, just so you know, the content for today, the way that today is going to work, is I've broken down today into 3 distinct sections. We're going to have one interview where I'll be interviewing a member of the Bioware team. I will be giving you guys some background. We'll be doing a small amount of Q&A, and every 15 minutes or so, we'll be doing a giveaway, okay? The reason why I'm doing this and the reason why I wanted to work out something like this is from my personal experience as a broadcaster, from my personal experience as a MMO gamer. One of the things that I think works really well in terms of showing people the humanity behind BioWare, behind EA, is getting to know the personalities of the people that work on the game. It's really easy to say, oh, let's look at this thing that specifically pissed me off as a gamer. Screw you, X company. You suck. Oh, my mom didn't make me a grilled cheese for breakfast, and you suck too. It's a really silly perspective, and when you get to know somebody and you really know the humanity and the personalities behind the team that makes the game, I feel like it's a lot harder to say, hey, this game is X, this game is whatever. So today I'm going to be exposing these personalities to the broadcast. For you guys who are hanging out in chat, chat's over here. I don't have my glasses on, but I'm going to do my absolute best to address everybody and say good morning to everybody and everybody else who's here. If you have any issues with the audio, please refresh your stream. Again, we're going to be hanging out all day. This is a very, very, very exciting day for me. Side note, outside of the content, the way I'm going to be doing giveaways is this. The giveaways are a mystery. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you, hey, we're giving away Darth Vader gear and have everybody in chat only caring about what the giveaway is. That's not the way we're doing today. I'm going to randomly be doing raffles, and I'm going to be selecting winners at the end of the entire broadcast. I will go through an itemized list of who won and what they won. Again, pre-stream, if you guys were here pre-stream, these giveaways are literally the best giveaways. I feel personally, in my opinion, these are going to be the best giveaways ever done in the history of Star Wars: The Old Republic. But that's just one man's opinion. So, getting started today. Awesome. Take his time. All good. I'm waiting for our first interviewee to get on in here, and we're hanging out. Until then, I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. And stay tuned for an awesome day. let's do our first giveaway. Let's do our first giveaway right now while you guys are here. So if you guys are tuning into the broadcast, in order to qualify for this raffle, all you need to do is type in !raffle in chat and make sure you're following the stream. So I'm going to reset MooBot right now. We'll draw our first raffle. Awesome. I'm going to do one raffle real quick, and I'm going to jump you right in. I'm going to come over and say, hey.
Awesome, man.
Good morning, man.
Yeah, it's great to meet you.
Absolutely great.
Look at this. Look at this.
It's like
we're already on the same page.
Exactly.
Can you get that same shirt?
Yeah.
Me and Fabian are wearing the same shirt. So it's like we're doing a handoff.
That's awesome, man. I shaved just because I heard there could only be one beard. Yeah.
Cleaned up for you.
All good, man. It's glorious. It's actually better than expected. So this is great. So for you guys who are tuning into the stream, we're gonna do our first giveaway of the day right now. Oh yeah. Those are from a viewer of mine, my buddy DJ Rekka. He had those custom made for me. Really cool, dude. Yeah. Yeah, they're really cool. I'll talk to you guys about it, but. So, if you guys are tuned into the broadcast, if you're watching right now, I'm gonna do the first giveaway. I'm gonna draw the first giveaway winner in about 1 minute. So just so you guys know today, this is not a giveaway stream. Today is a content day. So I hope you guys are excited. I've got my first interviewee sitting right over here, standing right over here around the corner. All you need to do is type in !raffle in chat and make sure you're following the stream. I'm going to draw the first giveaway winner in 1 minute. Thank you guys thank you very much for the follows. I appreciate every single one of you guys, and sit tight because we're going to have a ridiculous day. We're going to have a ridiculous day today. All right, that's it. I wish you guys the absolute best. No sore losers. Thank you very much for supporting the broadcast. Thank you very much for supporting Star Wars: The Old Republic. And the winner of our first giveaway of the day, secret giveaway, by the way. Winner of our first giveaway of the day today is... no one, because the raffle was not live. Everybody, take a second of time. Starting off with professionality here, guys. Yeah, all right. Type an ! raffle in chat again. Starting right now. Oh my God. Whoop, 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 whoop. Sad trombone.
It was just the warm-up. You wanted to make sure they were ready. It was a warning shot.
Yeah, man. MooBot's not letting me draw raffles, so this is an interesting moment to be here. Okay. I might have to open up Night Mod. This is a moment. This is the one thing that I didn't check, and thank goodness we got it going now. Oh God. Yeah. All right, so I'm drawing Nightbot in here. We are going to do giveaways, keyword. Okay, so guys, we're gonna do a keyword giveaway. New keyword giveaway. Type in Swoter in chat. For you guys who are tuned in, type in Swoter in chat right now. I'm doing a Nightbot keyword giveaway. All right. This will be a new giveaway as of right now. Sorry guys, a little bit of a curveball. Apologize for the lack of professionality there. Made a little bit of an adjustment. Damn. It's like one user, 100 users in the raffle. Okay, I apologize, guys. Just type in capital SWTOR in chat. Sit tight. This will be a randomly drawn winner. Apologize for the lack of hype. Apologize for the lack of JoeNeverFails for a minute there, but we got it covered. We got it ready for y'all. I will be drawing a winner, and once I draw this winner, I'm not going to announce what you've won until the end of the broadcast, so you're going to have to stick around if you want to win some of the coolest giveaways ever done in the history of Star Wars: The Old Republic. All right? And sit tight, because I've got 3 awesome interviews lined up for y'all. Apologize for the lack of JoeNeverFails, dude. Give me just 1 sec. I'm going to give you guys 1 minute as of right now. 1 minute. You've got 1 minute to type in type in SWTOR in chat. Make sure you follow the stream, and then we're going to draw the winner. That's about it. I hope you guys are having an awesome Friday. TGIF. Happy National Donut Day, by the way.
Did not know.
Didn't know it either until I bought 4 dozen donuts from Dunkin' Donuts this morning. Yeah. I've got an awesome tweet to send. I should have sent that out earlier this morning, but yeah. 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 Over under, boys. The stream will be ending in 2 hours. So the stream is from 10 a.m. CST till 12 p.m. CST. All right. That's about it, guys. I wish you all the absolute best. I want to say thank you guys very much for watching the stream. Again, thank you very much for supporting Star Wars: The Old Republic. And I'm going to be drawing our first giveaway winner right now. All right, our first giveaway winner is Gravy_Biscuits. Gravy_Biscuits, congrats. Make sure you stick around. Make sure you stick around in chat. Let's get a round of applause for Gravy Biscuits. And without further ado, let's grab our first interviewee. Do you want to come over here?
Yeah.
All right. So for you guys who are tuning into the stream, I'd like to introduce you to
Charles Boyd.
Charles.
How's it going?
It's going great, man.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you very much for coming out to the stream today.
Dude, I'm so excited to be here. Thank
Dude,
you.
I've been thinking about trying to accomplish something like this for basically my entire career. I've never been able to do vlogs.
That's a long time
Dude, it's a long time.
to build up.
It's been 3 years,
I hope
man.
I can deliver on that kind of pressure.
No, today is literally no pressure. So for you guys who are tuning in, I want to introduce you guys to Charles. You may or may not already know. He's a pretty integral member to the Bioware community team. If you'd like to introduce yourself, I'd like to let everybody know what you do,
Sure.
and we'll take it from there.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm Charles Boyd. I'm the creative director for Star Wars: The Old Republic. So that means I get to pretend like I'm in charge of everything. I just have a role in kind of overseeing the general direction of the game from a creative standpoint. So, the storyline, what are the levels like, what is the art like, pretty much everything that kind of goes into the game and the experience that you have. I'm kind of overseeing all of that, and it's a really exciting and fun kind of position to have, right?
Yeah.
I'm such a huge nerd for Star Wars
Yeah.
that to actually have reached this point in my career and to have that level of input and insight into everything is just so cool. I get to see everything kind of coming together from the conception in people's brains all the way right up onto the screen, and it's an amazing process to watch so many talented people that I just I'm just there watching them do it, and I just feel like it's so cool. An amazing place to be.
It's got to be such a crazy experience, just from a human standpoint, to say, hey, at some point when I was a kid, I fell in love with Star Wars.
Yeah, like if I could send a message back in time and be like, this is what you're going to be doing.
Look out for this, by the way.
I think I probably would have died and
goodness.
had a heart attack, right? Like, it's amazing.
Speaking of which, just to give everybody a little bit of a cool understanding from where your background comes from, do you remember the exact moment you became a fan of Star Wars?
Oh no, man! I joked once that I think I saw it in the womb. I can't remember the time before I saw these movies. You know, I think my dad had copies that he had acquired fully legally.
Okay.
On beta tape that we watched as kids.
Beta boys.
Yes, I'm bringing it back. We're gonna make a strong standing for beta here today. But yeah, we just had them on loop all the time. I think they eventually had to get me a tape player for my room, so that they could watch something that they wanted to watch on TV, because I was always just put it in, okay, rewind, okay, put it again.
Beta to the max.
So, it's always been a part of my life. My older brother had picked up, some of the toys when they were out, and then they found this garage sale.
Yeah. The best, always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, and back then, before the days of Amazon and stuff, where you could just buy the toys you were
the only
looking
place.
for, or eBay, you had to find it. And my dad found this, gold mine of Star Wars toys for my older brother, and then I just inherited all of them or stole them, depending on how you look at it. And I just
inherited.
I lived
inherited.
for it. I lived for it, and just every minute I was running around with something.
Who is your side note? Yeah. Side note. That's there, but I'm gonna leave that there. Side note. If you could pick one character in the Star Wars universe to be, who would you pick?
Oof, dang. That is tough.
Yeah, I'm asking the tough questions today, guys.
We're hard hitting here today. I feel like I should find some character who's just really rich and doesn't have to do anything.
Jabba the Hutt.
But
Confirmed.
I'm not
Charles
sure.
wants to be Jabba the Hutt.
I'm not sure his day-to-day, his day-to-day lifestyle is the one I would want.
Okay.
But that seems like a pretty good way to go, right?
All right.
He chills out with his buddies.
You got Lando too.
He got
Cloud City.
There you go. Let's
That's
go with
not a
Lando.
bad one. Yeah.
Lando's
And
pretty
he's
good.
A badass too.
He's badass. He can fly ships.
Okay.
Arguably as well as Han Solo.
Not bad.
And He's suave. He's charming. Well dressed.
Did you hear that, ladies?
Well
Did you
dressed.
hear this?
He's
got to be well dressed if he's wearing my shirt.
Lando's got it all going for him, right?
Yeah.
Let's go with Lando.
Okay.
I like that.
Sweet deal.
Yeah.
So, next super hard hitting question that I have for you. As a fan of Star Wars, at some point in your life as a man, it says, hey, like I want to be involved in the video game industry. Do you remember like when it was? Was it high school? Was it college?
Yeah.
When you decided that like this is what I wanted to pursue? Do you remember that time?
Yeah,
for you?
absolutely. Like I don't know if it was just one specific moment, but like I played a lot of Star Wars video games.
Okay.
I played a lot of other PC games, especially, and that modding community really kind of grew up in kind of the. I mean, it was probably around since the start of games, right?
Yeah.
But the way I experienced it was, it really grew up in the '90s after like Quake 2.
Okay.
Lots of mods coming out for that. Then Half-Life,
Yeah.
really exploded.
Yes.
Counter-Strike, Team
Yes.
Fortress. Well, Team Fortress was the company, but anyway, so many cool things that fans were making, right? Like I was playing games that just normal people had built. People like like me, high school kids even.
Yeah.
And so that was just really inspiring to me, and said, I should give this a shot. This is something that I should that I really want to get into. It's something I'm passionate about. I like playing games, but I like imagining, creating experiences for other people to play.
Yeah.
And that's such a fun thing. Dungeons and Dragons kind of stuff as well, right? Tabletop gaming. Like it's such an interesting way to approach a game, so to speak, and create an experience that you are then playing with your friends at the same. You're creating and playing all at once.
It's that concept from my perspective. It's that being able to draw from your personal imagination and then manifest those ideas into reality.
Absolutely.
It's such an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And especially like at any point in anybody's life. This is a side note, like outside of sort of, this is like a big whole life stream we're doing here, okay?
Life lessons, pro tips,
Straight
LPTs.
up. Absolutely. Whatever it is, wherever you guys are coming from, in whatever passions or avenues you want to explore in life, there's a lot of magic behind that one concept of, I want to do what my imagination is thinking. I want to create something from my imagination. So that creative process, and even that feeling from self, saying, hey, this is what I want to pursue. Like this is where I envision my career going. It's a powerful thing, and you're doing it, and that's why like it's such a cool thing to be able to interview you guys, because from a fan standpoint, you like probably everybody in chat right now could say at some point, like, I'd love to work on a Star Wars video game, or I'd love to work in the video game industry.
Right,
so
right. It's such an amazing
standpoint.
opportunity. Yeah, and it's really crazy though. You get into it, you think, oh, I'm a really creative person. I really come up with cool ideas. Then it's like, okay, now do that by Friday.
and then
Come up with the best possible idea in 2 days.
do
or
that
whatever.
over and over and over and over again for how many years? How long have you been working for Bioware?
I'll be hitting 11 years in August.
Wow, so you were here before SWTOR was even created.
Yeah, right almost from the very start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the real first serious question.
Sure.
So from a Bioware standpoint, I don't know, and again, like if I ever ask anything that's like too behind the scenes,
no worries,
anything,
no worries.
what was it like working on and knowing about this project coming to fruition before the game came out? What was it like working for this company? And what was it like being involved in it?
So it was my first experience in the gaming industry. It was my first job,
and you weren't in the position you were in now.
No, I was on the writing team, so
Okay.
I was just a low level first job, first guy.
Writing
the dialogue and storylines and stuff.
Thank you, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
One of my favorite things in Star Wars: JoeNeverFails is the stories. So
mine too. I'm a little biased,
dude.
but it was it's so crazy to me to think that I could get a full-time job just writing Star Wars stories. First of all, so I'm just excited every day, no matter what, right? And it was just this very cool energy in the air, and knowing when I got here there were maybe 30 or 40 other people tops. I can't even remember. We were over on like Far West Boulevard over there, and tiny offices, the writers' room. I think we had more writers than we had anything else at that point, because at Bioware we really put the story first. We really want the storyline to come together and kind of inform what everything else is going to be, because we want it all to support that, right? And so it was just so exciting to think anything's possible. There were all sorts of different ideas about how the game would come together, right? The version of the game that we had written down in documents back then.
The big concept wasn't exactly the way that it ended up panning out.
Yeah, we had like, totally different class makeup. There were 3 factions. There were, all sorts of crazy stuff. It was.
Tell me about that. Like,
I don't know how much I should say, but
if you can. Because there's a lot of people in chat that would
Yeah.
probably, like, that's the type of stuff that I love to know about, like, from the history standpoint.
Well, I think, we were coming at it, back then KOTOR wasn't so far back, right?
Yeah.
This was very much imagined as a follow-up to KOTOR. And, the classes in KOTOR, it's like you're a Jedi this, or a Jedi this.
Uh-huh.
And so it was kind of or in this case, a Sith this, a Sith that, whatever. But, so we really, I think, we're conceiving of it.
Balgosa.
I missed that. It's good to see Balgosa in there.
It is. He's a great dude, and good morning, my friend.
Yeah. So, it was interesting to watch that evolution. And as we, originally it wasn't there wasn't class story the way that we eventually came up with it, right?
Yeah.
It was at that point it was let's just have an introduction to each class, something pretty brief, and then everyone kind of comes together.
Okay.
And then as we kind of started doing that, as we had these myriad different classes and things, it was like that's just not enough. Like, we need more. We need more time for you to get to know these characters that you're playing. And that was really what led to, expanding the writing team quite a bit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It takes quite a few people to build that much, just to tell that much story. Then even more people to make those into cinematics, to make those into gameplay, to make them into everything else.
Just to say this, I don't feel like the average Star Wars: The Old Republic player realizes how much effort and work goes into the actual story of the game, because even if you play through each class once, there's twice as many other options that you can pursue that you didn't pick, and cutscenes and dialogue recorded and written for every single one of those classes. So it's a lot of work that goes into that.
Yeah, it was. We
I
had
don't
such
envy that work.
we had such a massive team putting that together as we led into launch. It was just insane to try to keep track of all of it. People like James Olin and stuff had to have literally the whole game in their head, and that's just mind-boggling.
That is mind-boggling.
That's sort of my job now, but I feel like I got to see it coming together for such a long time that it's easier for me. Like, he has. Drew Karpyshyn likes to talk about it. We have every version of the game or every version of the story that we ever talked about is stuck in there. And so remembering what is the thing that is actually comes out, what is the thing we're actually doing, it gets overwhelming, right? It's tough.
Was this something that was actually in the game, or imagined?
Yeah, was this just a thing that we talked about for 6 months and then cut, or was this the thing that we actually did? There's so many of those now that are. I feel like an old person. Like, when I look back, I'm like, well, did we do that with the Sith Warrior that time? Because it was a really cool idea. We were all into it, and then like, oh no, we didn't, because we did this instead. Names change around, so I'll call someone the name that they were 7 years ago rather than the name that they are 5 years ago now.
So let me ask you this. Obviously, like, this is another tough one. But what does it feel like when you personally want the game to go one direction and it ends up going a different one? What does that feel like for you, and how can you explain that process to people
It's
watching?
tough, right? Because it's a lot of mixed emotions, right? Obviously you get into an idea, you get really excited about it, you really want to pursue it, and so if you don't get to do that, you're going to be a little sad, right? You're going to be like, oh, that could have been really cool, because it's always going to be the version that's in your head, right? It's always that perfect. You really haven't thought it all the way through. No one ever really does until they really build something.
It always feels like Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, exactly. It's always that perfect vision that was there that is never fully fleshed out, right? Because as soon as you start putting pen to paper, as soon as you start creating character models, creating animations, linking things together, you're going to find, oh, well, okay, that's not actually going to work for this situation, or that's not actually realistic. Okay, well, let's tweak it. Let's tweak
badly,
it. Right? And, there's a no plan survives contact with the enemy is an expression, like no design survives contact with reality, is what I like to say. So you're always going to have limitations, right? A painter has only so much canvas, and no matter what your art is, no matter what you're creating, there's always going to be some point where, okay, that's as far as I can go. And, to some degree, that's actually can be really exciting, right? That can be really a really cool way to winnow in on what is really the most important part of this, right? So if it's a story, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to have, say, 3 scenes, whatever, arbitrary number. I'm going to have 3 scenes to tell all of this.
Yeah.
So which part of all of this is really the most important part? Which part do I feel like is the most exciting, or the most interesting, or the most frustrating even sometimes, right? Like, you want, sometimes it's where is the player going to be like, oh, now I'm really mad. I really want to act. Now I really want to get into this next mission because now I'm into it.
Mostly where it's with Quinn. Mostly.
Exactly. So it can be a really frustrating. It can be really sad, but it can also be really exciting because it really helps you find the parts that you really did connect with, that you feel
that
really
actually mean the most.
Exactly.
Or the most poignant to the player.
Yeah, exactly. So to that end, you can come out the end of it and be like, you know what, we found it. Yeah. We really nailed it. We found the thing. We trimmed the fat. We made this the real thing. Or sometimes you get to the end of it and you're like, yeah, we maybe picked the wrong thing.
Yeah,
so,
and
it happens.
Then you hear it on Reddit, I imagine.
Well, some people will tell you everything you ever did was the wrong thing, but that's part of the job too, right? I'm sure you get this too, right? You're a creative person. You're putting stuff out there all the time,
all day, every day. It happens.
People have opinions. Yeah. They may not always like what you do, and you just gotta look at the feedback, just take what you can.
Exactly. And learn from it and continue to progress forward.
Exactly, because everyone's coming at what you're making from a completely different place, right? They have a different idea of what it should be, of what they thought it would be. All of these things, their life, everything they have ever done in their life has put them into some specific mood in that exact moment when they experience it.
Their entire experience is up to that point.
Yeah, and you cannot predict what everyone's going to be feeling all the time.
Yeah,
and try to tailor to that. So it's a challenging job.
I hear you.
A little bit that way.
If you had to explain the biggest challenge that you ever faced. And then we could probably grab a couple questions from chat, some specific questions for you. Can you elaborate a little bit on that, what that would be like, just so people can get an idea about the things that you face on a yearly basis?
I'm trying to pick like one specific thing. I think in general the challenge, we kind of talked about it, right? It's being creative on a schedule.
Oh yeah.
It's I need to write all of these stories, or I need to, we need to build all of these designs so that
in
the next person
frame.
Right. And feel like we've got it together. And for most of my career being in the writing team and now as the creative director, that all has to happen at the beginning. So it's this like nebulous kind of time frame a little bit, because I need to get it done now,
so it can be going
so
to the
that
next
you
spot.
can record the dialogue, so that they can make the cinematics, so that they can make the gameplay between the cinematics, so that they can make the audio of the footsteps that are walking between these.
Yeah, and it's like this whole big engine that moves with so many other moving parts.
It takes a long time to really understand that whole pipeline that's behind you, and that you feel some pressure anyway, because it's like, hey, we got to get this done, we got a deadline. But then when you really understand, there's all these people counting on you to do their jobs, and to do their jobs well, right? Because you don't want to put them in a spot where they're rushed.
And then hundreds of thousands of people playing the game at the same time.
And you want them to get it, on time, right? Because they're playing the game every day, they're subscribing, they want to get stuff regularly. I would certainly feel the same way on the games that I play.
Yeah.
And you don't want to disappoint them. You want it to be the best thing it can be, but you also want to be giving them the stuff they want when they want it. I want them to be like, hey, this is a game that has lots of cool stuff that's coming out all the time. And it's such a tough balancing act to hit all of that.
And that pretty much wraps up exactly what we just got in the roadmap on to Star Wars: The Old Republic for the year of 2017. Yeah. So it's what I admire about it from playing lots of other MMOs is that it gives us a clear idea for what we can expect, what's being worked on, what you guys are concentrating on, so it can either mesh or clash with the current community of the game.
Right.
So lots of stuff on the roadmap.
Yeah.
What I'd love to be able to do is I'd love to grab some questions right now from chat. So
awesome.
I'm gonna do another giveaway real quick for you guys, just so we can get this out. So
I got a little preview of some of the gifts you're giving away. I won't spoil them, but they're good. They're good.
Just good?
Good.
On a scale of 1 to amazing, how would they be?
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal! So for you guys who are tuned into the broadcast right now, we're going to do our second secret giveaway of the day. Again, if you guys are watching the broadcast as of right now, we're going to do another keyword giveaway. I'm going to draw the keyword for you guys in just 1 second. I'm going to take a picture because Gravy Biscuits won the first one. We're going to cancel this.
Can I tell you how much I love biscuits and gravy?
Oh, let's
so glad
both talk about it for the next hour and a half.
Our winner, because
you deserve it because you're awesome.
You have put in the time.
Okay, so this keyword is going to be, just so everybody's watching and make sure you're attentive in chat, Charles. All right, so
that's 3 A's.
3 A's, Charles. This is the giveaway. This is the keyword right now. Type in Charles in chat.
So back in the day, when a character in the Star Wars universe was a clone, they just added an extra vowel.
Yeah.
Like Luke, and there was a clone of Luke that was
Luke.
So I assume Charles is like, that means I'm like the third or fourth
Evil
Charles clone. Let's go with that. As
Far more thrown out of this.
let's make that the backstory here.
All right. Yeah. So for you guys
It's only
who are tuning
vowels.
in,
It's only vowels, Musco. There are rules.
everybody who's watching, just type in Charles with 3 A's, capital, in chat. As soon as we finish, we draw this second secret giveaway winner. We're going to take a couple questions
Good
from
stuff.
chat. And again, guys, I want to say thank you very much if y'all are tuning into the broadcast. My name is JoeNeverFails. This is twitch.tv/JoeNeverFails, where we help the average Joe. It's your everyday gamer, both inside and outside of gaming. Today, inside of gaming, we're broadcasting live from Bioware Studios, Austin. This is one of the coolest days of my life in my career. This is straight up one of the coolest opportunities ever, and one of the coolest experiences I've ever been able to be a part of. So
It's so exciting for us to have you come in and actually hang out with us and,
Hell yeah.
and be on this end of the screen. You know?
it's one of those things where it's like, I imagine like for me and you guys as well, it's like a lot more feeling like it's more stressful than it's going to be. Then when we get here, it's just chilling, man. You know what I mean? Like this is what I do every day, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. But outside of it, you know what I mean? Like we're just hanging out, and I know there's a lot of people that care about knowing more and getting a better inside look into the game. So I hope that stuff like this and doing stuff like this from a broadcaster standpoint can make an impact on the community itself, and hopefully pave the way and open the door for more people in the future. So
Yeah.
you know, I love that type of stuff. So,
Yeah, we just love any chance we get to come. You know, we do these Cantina tour
hell
events
yeah.
and stuff, and we just love any chance we get to come
I'd
and actually
love
hang
to
out
be
with folks.
on the next one, by the way.
All right.
Bioware.
Noted.
All right.
Yeah, it's just so much fun to actually meet people who are playing the game every day, who can, you know, tell you like, oh, I made this choice and I love this, and I hate this character and I love this character, and see that passion in firsthand is so cool. It's just so amazing for us. So, you know, it's really, you know, an opportunity for me to be here hanging out with y'all. You know,
For me, I know I've got a ton of feedback to play Imperial Agent, and that will be one of the classes that I play next. I might have one or two in before that, but
if you
I'm
haven't
probably
played
saving
that?
that for last.
You haven't played that at all?
No, I played Sith Warrior, Inquisitor, and I just finished up Jedi Guardian. So
Yeah.
I love Jedi Knight so far. That's my favorite story.
Yeah.
Sorry, Imperials. I love you. I like Dark Side, even though I thought Light Side was going to be more fun for me, but I fell in love. So
yeah, Agent's really good. Lots of really cool twists.
nice.
Big
So
deep spy story.
for you guys who are tuned in right now, we're going to draw our second giveaway winner of the moment right now. I wish you guys the absolute best. Congratulations to all of our giveaway winners for the day. Again, I told y'all before the stream, these are going to be secret giveaways. So when I pick a winner, you have to stick around to the end of the entire broadcast to find out what you've won. We're going to itemize everything and tell you guys what you won at the end of the stream. You say that just because you haven't played Agent yet? Get it. I believe it, No Wolf. I believe it, buddy. And again, I wish you guys the best. Congratulations to our second giveaway winner, who is Fire Dragon 363. Congratulations, Fire Dragon. And I'm just letting you guys know, like, I'm not hyping this up when I say this. For you guys who are tuned in today, we have some of the craziest giveaways ever in the history of Star Wars: The Old Republic. So I'm keeping it hyped up for a reason. I'm keeping it secret for a reason. So for you guys who are watching in chat, I'm going to be very selective right now, but open up chat to 2 or 3 questions. I'm going to literally hand pick them. So well thought out, thought-provoking questions. Feel free. We're going to grab a couple.
Let's do it.
Don't literally hit him, but we'll grab some questions. All right.
Keep asking if he can enter the contest.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
In chat,
No.
On SWOTOR, he's like, can I win Char?
That's why you were cracking up? Oh,
my
my
God.
goodness, man.
My favorite thing that I've seen in chat was that someone literally typed the sentence "Charles with 3 A's."
Charles in chat.
I'm sorry, you're probably not going to make it.
Okay, so I'm going to draw this one because this is actually something that I want to know about as well. Austin J. Rod says, curious if any mount will ever become a flying mount.
Yeah.
The planet designs are amazing. Would love to get that bird's eye view of those graphics.
So, I'm gonna let you
That's
in.
a fantastic
It
question.
is, it is, and it's something we've talked about many times over the years. We certainly talked about it a lot before launch. So I'll let you in on a little secret. They look amazing because you can't see them from the bird's eye view.
Ooh, interesting.
So, as we mentioned, we often have deadlines. We have a lot that we need to get done.
Okay.
And so when you know the perspective the player is going to be seeing things from, films do this too.
it's
all the time,
designed
right
around
away,
that perspective
right?
to be at
So
level.
we know, there's this fast travel, right? The speeders that'll fly you around. So we know in those cases when you're going to see it from above, and they design
What
it to
angle
be
the camera's gonna
really
be at.
cool to when you see it from that. But most of the time, we're hiding things behind that stuff that we don't want you to see.
I understand.
So, and it wouldn't look quite as cool. So, unfortunately, probably not something we would do in the near future.
Okay.
But it's something, we're always looking for ideas, and that would certainly be a cool way. If we could build a whole world like that, that would be awesome, right?
Quick follow up to that question. What would it take from the community in terms of like outcry to design that and put that in
to
the
make
game?
that a thing? Oof. I don't want to put a number on it.
No, I'm just throwing.
I want to be like
Yeah.
that Wendy's. Was it?
It's-
The Twitter
anything
account?
that you say right now is going to happen on Reddit right now. Oh my God,
I think
making the
if,
Wendy's joke.
If we had about 30 professional environment artists who wanted to make that stuff for free and send it in, then maybe we could do it.
How many hyper crates does that equate to? Anyway, let's draw another question here from chat, and we'll grab a quick one. Let's see here. Got some story questions. Undying Revan asks a really, really good one, and we'll probably bang these. Next two back to back.
Yeah, let's do it.
Undying Revan asks, where did the devs get their inspiration to create the game? Was it just from love for Star Wars, or was there more to it? That's a fantastic question.
I think it kind of comes from a couple angles, right? Love for Star Wars, obviously, huge in everyone's minds, right? Like we were talking about it before. It's been part of my life, literally my entire life. Everyone on the team is just a huge Star Wars fan. We all grew up watching the movies. So many, we've been building this game long enough now that there's like a whole next generation of younger people that, came up with the prequels, with Clone Wars and stuff. So obviously, huge passion for that. I think also, kind of as we were talking about it, that idea of creating an experience that people are sharing both with us and with each other, right? When you build Knights of the Republic back in the day, which I didn't work on, so don't let me sound like I'm overstating myself. But that's kind of a one-off experience, right? It's here's the game that we made, now you go play it.
Yeah.
With the Old Republic, when we started on this so many years ago, MMOs not brand new, but really starting to hit a huge stride, right? Really breaking out into the community for gamers.
Exactly, at that time in the world, in the history of games.
And so, when we were starting this, 2005, 2006, those years, and so the idea of not only making an awesome Star Wars game, but making an awesome Star Wars game that players are going to be experiencing all together, all at the same time, with each other, with their friends, and that would continue ongoing in a way that we could build new stuff and add to it constantly, right? Like a living game experience. That was something that was hugely inspirational, exciting for all of us.
So it's like in that it was like the gaming industry affecting the creation of more of the gaming industry, saying, "Hey, look at this! Look at what's happening right now in its environment. We've got WoW, we've got XXX other MMO happening right now. Why? How the hell is there not a Star Wars version of this?" And I also imagine there's a little bit of a business end where somebody goes, "This is probably a good freaking idea."
There might have been a few people who said that could probably make some money.
Lots of beard stroking at that point. But hey, man, I'm gonna grab. I think we'll try one more, and this is like a big one that we've been talking about in chat, and it'll probably be a pretty cut and dry answer for you.
Okay.
So, we're not where can I get the t-shirts you're wearing? eBay, check it out. This one right here, Troutmaster Gaming asks, will there be new classes?
So,
and how much could you actually tell us about that?
All right, I'm going to probably say more than I should.
Okay.
But not give you, I can't not lock anything down right
Hit the TiVo button, boys!
So I think at this point we're probably not too likely to do a whole new class, right? Because for our game, a whole new class means a whole new class story.
Correct.
All the way 1 to 50.
And that's what we talked about. That's what we talked about earlier this week, guys.
You got to go back through every Flashpoint, every World Quest, everything ever made, and add, because every class has 2 voices, right? A male and female voice, plus 2 more voices in French and 2 more voices in German. All of that has to happen to do a new class from start to finish.
Exactly.
But, you know, lots of ideas I've seen players bring up that we've also brought up internally. New advanced class.
Yep.
Do that. New, maybe doing some kind of hero class kind of thing. I don't know if we'd go that far, but, you know, to me, I think that, again, brings an expectation of some new story to go with it. And new voices that you got to then, again, filter all the way back through all the old content so that they can play it. But, you know, maybe that's a thought. So, you know, it's not a closed door, but if you're saying purely new class, I don't think that's something that's likely to happen. But new gameplay that you could do all the way through the game from level 1 on, I'd be into that.
So, you heard it here first. I'm going to finish up with one thought and not another follow-up because I know we've got a very cool friend of mine coming in a second. Now, something that I see that's really well done in other games is, and specifically the main video game that I play in Final Fantasy XIV, is that the next classes that come out in expansions don't begin from the beginning.
Right.
They begin from like the level 30 jump.
Yeah, or like the Death Knight kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or the level 50 jump now with the Stormblood content coming out in just a couple weeks. Could, and this is another side preface for this.
Sure.
With the current community of this game wanting more massively multiplayer content and less story, do you think something like that, could you see something like that being implemented in the future of the game to appease and to appeal to the story-driven characters, the characters that want more story without having to put as much strain on the development of this game, unlike the actual cost as well? Could you see another expansion starting with another class or a set of classes that came out with an expansion that only had specific unique story to that point? Is that ever...
So it's something we've talked about for sure. It's not something that's in the plans right now. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. But yeah, I mean, something like that, that's much more feasible, right, than creating all of the content that we had a giant team built for years on, right?
Yeah, it's almost like it would be too much to accomplish or try to set, so it's like, well, we can't even do it.
You know, well, with anything, right? If you're doing this, that means there's something else you're not doing.
Exactly.
You know, so if we spent too much time on one thing, it means everyone else who wants more PvP, wants
PvP,
an operation,
PvE,
wants a
story,
wants a story for this
content.
class rather than this one. You know, you're always giving up something. So we always want to be intelligent about picking the thing that's going to get a lot of people excited, give them something really cool and new to do, without giving up too much in all these other places, right? So it's a tough act.
I can imagine,
but
100%.
It would be really exciting to do something like that.
I think so. I'm just saying. But hey, man, I appreciate your time so much.
So much
dude.
fun to be
here. It was a blast
so cool.
to get you on the show.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your time. I want to say thank you guys to everybody who's tuning in.
Yeah, thank y'all for showing up and listening to me ramble for a while. It's been a lot of fun.
All good, dude. Thank you so much for coming out.
Oh yeah, man, so much fun. Thanks.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get someone much cooler.
Let's get another buddy of mine over here, guys. So if you guys are tuning into the broadcast today, again, welcome aboard the Joecomotive. I've got our second guest of the day coming in hot. My dog. Get over here.
Joe.
How you been, man?
Been all right, man. Been all right, dude. How's it going, my friend?
It's going great. I want to say thank
Hello,
you,
everyone.
guys. If you guys don't know Fabian, I'd like you to introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Fabian. Obviously, I work here on Star Wars: The Old Republic. I am our external art manager. So I basically get to work with all of the artists that aren't currently in the building. It's a really cool gig. I enjoy it because I get to look at a lot of art, do a lot of art, and just really be involved in the process.
Hell yeah, man. So, guys, if you're tuning in, we, for me, from my perspective as a broadcaster, to be able to pull off a really cool Bioware stream for you guys, I wanted to get I look inside a different avenue and a different area of the creative process at Bioware. So we've got two community members in Charles and another special guest, a secret guy we've never met before, ever. And it's an absolute blast to get somebody, number one, someone I've met before and somebody we hung out with. Like, dude, it's great to see you in general.
Always,
like, I know I haven't seen you for a little bit of time, but
It's been a bit,
you know
but
what I mean?
it's always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
I love this man right here. I don't get enough time to spend and hang out with you, but dude, to get you here and get a little bit more of an insight into what you do and how you've been involved with Bioware is an absolute blast. So for me, so you can let people know exactly what's going on, they know a little bit about what you do on a daily basis. I'm going to be asking a couple questions in terms of the beginning of the process to help people in chat know, and for anybody who's aspiring to get involved in the gaming industry, where was it for you? Let's get a big preface back and pull back for a second.
Okay.
Where was it for you? Do you remember the moment
that
you became a fan of Star Wars? Let's start with that.
Geez.
Let's start with that.
So like I will be that guy. I am like 31 years old.
It's
so
dude.
like I wasn't around for like the original span of Star Wars, but I would always remember like it would come on TV like back when they would actually just put Star Wars on TV.
Yeah.
And, I'd sit there and I was like, oh my gosh, Star Wars is on, everything stops, I'm watching Star Wars. And my mom was just like cool with it. It was like, you know what, leave him alone. He's in his zone watching Darth Vader do his thing.
Yeah.
And so like from there it's like, you know what, I'm in it. Like I'm in this world now. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it just kind of kept coming, and then everyone says episode 1 through 3 and all that stuff, and I went to the movie theater, watched those immediately. Yep. And it is what it is. I won't say too much about that.
Yeah.
But
that's for another conversation. I actually planned on asking you directly, but we're gonna skip over that. Just go. We're gonna keep the ball rolling today.
But then from there, it just kind of became just more of something I want to be involved in, or at least just like be a part of, or became more of a stronger part of just what I wanted to do, even just as an artist or just as a creative in general. And I mean, it's kind of cool now that I have the opportunity to be able to like actively influence that universe. So it's really cool.
Can we? I'm just gonna get a quick bit of feedback if we can get you to speak up a little bit, just so the mic can pick you up.
Gotcha. Sorry, guys.
All good. So, on top of the fact that almost everybody, I'd say almost the dramatic proportion, almost everybody here is a fan of Star Wars. Where in your life as a human being, like as a man, did you decide that art was what you wanted to pursue?
So I'd always like done art. Like as soon as I could pick up a pencil, I was in there, head down, looking at it. I don't think it was until like I got into high school where I started taking art classes. Okay. And then I realized like this isn't engaging enough to me, so I wanted to do more. Like the fact that I didn't have, a good avenue towards art from where I was made me want to do art more. That's a
really interesting way to put it. Yeah.
It also leads me to want to at some point in time teach art because like when you don't have access to it, you start to want to find places to give access. So being able to go out and teach and do stuff like that, a little bit of a tangent. But yeah, at some point in time, I would like to go and teach art so people that want to do art might realize they want to do art at an earlier stage. Yeah. But then I got into college, and I was really good in school, good grades, math, science, everything. And decided to go into mechanical engineering of all things. And I realized like I realized like 2 years in, I just was not happy with it. It's like not something I could have done for an 8-to-5 job. Okay. So I decided that I was going to just drop my major entirely and try to get into art school. I went to University of Texas here in Austin, by the way, so hook 'em. So I did that. I actually did not get in my first year. I decided like the month before to try to get a portfolio ready to get into art school. It wasn't happening in a month. So I decided to take like a bunch of external classes from other places and kind of got my skills up and everything, and finally got to the point where I got accepted. And so I spent the next 3 years, like fall semesters, spring semester, and all through the summer, taking classes, working, trying to get through this degree because it's getting expensive. So I wanted to do it. But I think at that point is when I realized, like, you know what, this is something I want to do. Like, I'll take the pay cut from not being an engineer. I'll take the stress of having to do so much work and not having any really time to do anything on my own.
It's that fine line between, hey, do I want to continue doing something for money or do something that I want to love and know that I'll love for the rest of my life?
Right. And
I respect that so much.
And it's interesting because, like, you talk a lot about people being talented or something like that, and I can't even remember where I heard it from, but this guy was saying, like, talent's not so much the ability to just innately do something. Correct. But it's really having more of a sense of that person cares so much about doing it that they'll spend more time doing it, and so that innateness kind of comes out of it, so I like to think of it that way because, like, I mean, I could always get better. Like, everyone can always get better. There's some amazing stuff out there, but everyone can always get better, and so that's where I want to kind of instill in people, like, if you want to do something, you kind of just have to just put everything into doing it.
You have to put a little bit of passion, a lot of hard work, a little bit like that. I imagine.
Yeah.
So we actually have had this conversation before.
Yeah.
Side note: there is no child prodigy. There is no kid that's born with the ability to play violin like a genius. You know what I mean? It's the child that puts the amount of time and effort into and practicing and honing those talents. So it's Malcolm Gladwell writes a book called Outliers that explains 10,000 hours. Macklemore has a song that alludes to 10,000 hours in Malcolm Gladwell's book. So it is like in anything that you want to do in life, from my perspective, and I know you know this, like if you put the time and effort in, you will achieve and find success and happiness in that thing. So again, pursuing that career in art and knowing that was the direction that you wanted to go in, is Bioware your first job in the industry?
It is my very first job in the industry.
So how did you get involved with Bioware, and how long have you been working for Bioware in general?
So that's a long story.
Yeah, let's chop it up into small, digestible sections.
All right. So I graduated from UT.
Okay.
Had my art degree and everything. I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
Okay.
In 2009, which was the middle of a recession, so
Yes.
most people weren't really trying to hire like just entry level art positions and all. So I was actually out of a job for a year and actually did like small jobs and ended up working for the Census Bureau. It was like 2010 that summer.
Okay.
And that was a cool job, but that
Hell
was
yeah.
Texas is hot, and I don't want to walking around outside getting like surveys from people that don't want to see you is not my idea of a good time.
Not ideal.
But so eventually I got to the point where it's like I need to go back to school and do more game art related stuff.
Okay.
So at the time UT did not have a game program. Like I think they sort of have one now. I'm still not sure if the art side of it.
So art side, but not necessarily specific for gaming.
Right. So I'm a fine artist, like more specifically, and that it doesn't really won't get you too much of a job. Like you could, like there's ways to do it if your stuff is really good.
It's almost too niche of a specificity to be appealing on a grander scale, especially in that.
A lot of times the idea of like it's like game art is more commercial. Like it's for a purpose. It's for something.
Yeah.
Usually very specific something. So it's less open than I think fine art usually is.
Okay.
Not that it's not possible to do it, but you know. But that's another tangent there. So I decided to go back to school and at the same time started working at Michael's craft store. And because I was an art guy,
shout outs to Michael's.
Yeah, you know. So because
Musco's dying over here, dude. He's having so much more fun than you guys are right now. He's dying over here, man.
But the crazy thing about that was because I had an art degree, like I moved up in the management line so fast there. So it's like I knew how to do everything. Like,
all right.
I learned how to knit, which is kind of cool. So hey guys, a little bit of knitting there.
So side note, if you guys want a job at Bioware, knitting is your
that
in.
got my job. Dog.
Knitting is your in. Yeah. Looks great on a resume. I'd imagine.
That's top line. I don't even put my name on there. I just feel I can knit.
Hire him.
But yeah, so I started working there. And the funniest thing about that too is like the sweetest old ladies will come to you and they will ask you all these questions, and if you can just charm the crap out of them, they will call you and hey, I have some questions, Fabian. I think there's a lady that had a crush on me. I'm not sure.
Side note, if you're into the G-MILFs, work at Michael's.
You gotta, that. But anyway, a little bit of something for y'all there.
There is a demographic of chat that wanted to know that.
Yeah, I'm sure. And so so I was working there, and at the time I ended up coming in contact with someone that worked here, and passed my resume over to him. And I didn't have much on there. There still wasn't enough. I had just started the game and the game art classes I was going to, so I didn't really have a whole lot to really show. And so, but I eventually ended up getting a call from one of the recruiters here, and turns out there was a QA position open, contract QA position open. So I was like,
so more happenstance than actual hey, is this actually something? And then
and it was a contract QA position, so I was doing a lot of play testing, and super shout out to QA because QA is super duper important. If you have ever thought about doing QA or wanting to do testing, not the Facebook thing where it's make a bunch of ridiculous money a year with a golden controller or something like that.
The actual hands-on work that goes into working a game so that the players that actually play the game don't encounter the errors that you experience.
It's you'll see bugs, but then you won't see bugs. sometimes
and
bad
then if you
things
see
happen.
it, how
and-
can you report it?
Right,
What does
right.
that actually mean in terms of code and the programming perspective of things?
So shout out to QA because we need some more QA people. Just
Q,
everywhere.
what to do? Q. I can't make a Q with my hands. That's terrible.
Yes.
Make the Q. Put the thing in there. Confirmed. NA world's first. First Q. Anyway,
it was a little cursive.
Yeah. Don't read too much into that, guys. That wasn't what you. Wasn't what it looked like.
That's a bro Q right there.
So, now, from all of those events moving forward, and then working at Bioware, like starting in a position that you aren't in right now,
Right.
getting into the art department and into the art management now, like what are some of the things that you worked on that people would know about in chat? Like
Right.
what are some of the projects that are most recognized or would be most recognized by people in game right now?
Oh, like specifically, pretty much so in QA I tested.
Yeah.
Like from I started in 2011, right before the game came out. So pretty much all of that was being tested during playthroughs of all the planets, and that is tough, guys. Like the entire game over and over again. It's tough thing to
work.
test.
It's work. It's work.
And then from there, I moved on to doing tools, so like working in our engine and figuring out how to do some of this stuff for that. That became like using my art background and knowing how to use some of the tools, learning how to do 3ds Max and learning how to use Photoshop and the tools that we use here. That was something that was allowed me to get a little bit more into the art half of it. It made me more technically minded. So there's the art side, and then there's this part that has to deal with the tech part, the part that has to deal with how do these assets get from one point to this point. And so I think from there, I started actually like physically just doing artwork in the office. Like I would draw on all the whiteboards. I would.
So it was it was actually a process from the beginning to the transition to the position.
Right. And we're like the studio here has always been great because like they don't separate the people. Like QA
you're working on the
is-
project,
Yeah,
then
right.
you're working on it.
Right, like QA is not separate. Like we have embedded QA, so like they will actually have people sit with a respective like feature or someone like that. So you can actually have a QA representative there to be testing as development is going on at a high level, and then that gets trickled down into more mass testing, so we can see what's going on before betas and stuff go out, or PTS stuff goes out. And so, getting to do that meant I get to actually be in front of people, be in front of artists, and I eventually got to the point where I was doing the QA for the art. And they get to learn a little bit about me, knowing like, hey, he's been trying to kind of work into the industry a little bit. Let's give him a shot. And so literally like Michael Hoops and my art director, shout out to Hoops.
I love you.
They gave me a chance, and so I started working as a character artist for Bioware.
And that for you guys who know the broadcast and know where I come from and know the process that I've gone through and the challenges and adversity I've faced in my life, you don't know how much I love that and respect that about the things that we've been through in a similar way.
Right.
Like for anybody who's watching this and says to themselves in their mind, like, I can't do it, or like, oh, I can't do this next step, oh, I'd have to be this in order to do this, and that's not available to me as a person. There is literally nothing stopping you from achieving the goals that you want in your life, except for the mental walls and barricades that you place on yourself.
Right.
This is like such an awesome, like seriously, man, like
I appreciate
you letting us know, because it's such an awesome progression of events from maybe thinking that I wanted to pursue one thing to getting a life throwing a curveball at you to saying, hey, I actually want to now pursue something that I love, and then taking the chance and having the courage to pursue that, to be in, and then the universe rewarding that decision to place you in this chair. On my stream. No,
it was
not
all
that.
for this moment.
All for this moment
here,
right now.
here.
But to be working for a video game company, working on a Star Wars project, man.
And I keep seeing, so I actually never answered the question, because people keep asking, like, oh, what did you actually that you know? I think my claim to fame is HK55, the black and gold droid. But
what?
Technically, are
you kidding me,
No,
dude?
but technically, he's just a recolor. So It's not that crazy.
HK55.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I was the black and gold one. But
Are you kidding me?
But that's not that crazy because like one, I work with some amazing artists, So shout out to all my art bros and bras.
I have plans to get more artists on the stream in the future if things go well with broadcasts like this, for sure.
Yeah.
Look at Jack going nuts, dude. What?
It's literally just recolor, so it's not that crazy. But my job was mostly to bring assets into the game. So that technical minded part of it was, literally like something gets made, I bring it into the game and actually make it work. And so like a lot of what I do now as far as outsourcing manager, it basically deals with that. I get to take the assets from the artists, I give them feedback using like my extensive knowledge of everything.
Must have extensive knowledge of everything.
Like everything.
Bioware set the bar high.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, don't put that on your resume.
No. And if you're a game, if you're a game developer, don't ask for that from anyone.
Yeah. So like, part of my position, and maybe this leads it a little bit further out of the realm of what we were talking about, but bringing the assets from one state to another state is a highly technical task, and it's the part of art that no one really sees. Like, so
elaborate that a little bit for people who are watching that don't know. Are you talking about like from a hand drawn piece of art?
Let's go through it then.
Yeah, straight up.
All right, so generally everything starts with the writers or someone higher
some type
up
of
has
concept or an idea.
Yeah, so a writer will be like, we want to do this sort of thing. So let's go back to like Planet Tython. But first planet for Jedi. Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiled. Luke's the main character. Spoiled.
I think that statute of limitations is like 5 years on our game, so I think we're there. But so let's say we have this outfit that we want to do for one of the Jedi on there. That we'll get some ideas from the writers, whatever they're saying, like what's the look and feel of the place. And then from there we'll have our concept artists do some stuff. And so they'll do some sketches, we'll figure it out, we'll go through some iteration to kind of figure out what we need this to look like. And then we decide, okay, this is good to go. Let's start making it. So we'll take it to one of the artists, a character artist, and they will start building it up. We'll go through a feedback process of that. It'll be this really, really heavily dense. So for those that don't know much about game art, so all the assets are built up in polygons. So if you imagine it like a dice, a cube, it's 6 sides, right? Well, everything in our game is basically made up of that, just hundreds of them, like, so very, very, very many. And so when we start doing what we call a high poly sculpt, we take as many of those as we can and just make a really, really nice version of it.
So for artists watching in chat, what program do you guys use to make those sculpts?
We use ZBrush. So most people are using ZBrush to do like these really high-end sculpts.
And shout outs to artists that are using that. That is a tool and program that you can learn on your own.
Expensive, but
to be involved in the gaming industry.
And it's fairly standard. There's like free versions out there and free versions.
ZBrush, not zebras.
Yeah,
ZBrush.
Zebras too.
Yeah,
we use zebras here extensively. So we have this high poly sculpt, this really nicely, highly detailed version of it.
Okay.
It's a thing that everyone wants to see in the game. Like, you'll see like these promo shots of stuff.
Like end result.
It's like really, really nice. But we have to bring that down because engines typically don't like super dense amounts of polygons all in one place. So we make what's called a low poly. So we then start breaking that down. And you can use any sort of like modeling software, Maya, 3ds Max, whatever. It's all works. We just have to break it down into its core, like what grabs a silhouette.
Yeah, so, all right. So to make the analogy to people in stream, you go from potato graphics to high res, or even more basic than that.
Reverse. So
other way around. You create high res first,
and then we need to break it down into potatoes. Potatoes.
I just potato.
Yeah.
Potato.
So we go from there, and so we have to make sure like we were building this in such a way that it works for our game.
Okay.
So characters are a certain way, player characters are a different way. Environment assets are a certain way. We have all these rules
Yeah.
that have to kind of be in place for this to work, right? And so from there we'll go to skinning it and basically letting it. Animators have already made like skeletons and stuff for us to use. So we're building like this in a T pose or A pose, and now we need to make it so that it does all sorts of fancy stuff. I tried to get the little wiggle on, but half my arm is cut off.
I'll hit you with this. I'm gonna go for the.
Okay, and bring it in. There we go.
That just happened. Big shout outs to Willie Lowe. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for your kindness and generosity. Long story short, overall, the reason why I asked the question is, as you can see, just like with Charles, when we explained the idea to reality situation, there is an incredibly large amount of work that goes in from, hey, I have this idea. Again, if you guys have if you have a JNF badge next to your name in chat, make sure you put some swag in there for Willie Lowe.
Someone has a unicorn zebra. What?
That's the swagoon, man. That's the dragoon helmet.
Oh, okay.
Unicorn zebra.
Okay, I can't.
I will never forget that. No, I think that's a great way to describe it. I just want to be able to let you guys know from every single standpoint, from every department in a video game company, there is a ridiculous amount of work that goes from, hey, I have this idea, this is a great idea, let's put this in the game, from the concept to the flesh out to the Q&A to the actual implementation to the refinement of that actual implementation. It's a ridiculous amount of time. Yeah. So, this is somebody that knows the exact amount of work that goes into making that.
I mean, it's even crazy too because you'll have people behind the scenes that you will never ever know about, like our DevOps guys. Like, I'm trying to give shout outs to everyone that doesn't normally get shout outs because those guys keep us able to work. We have to do builds and make sure everyone can do anything in the game at important time so we can do development. And so, DevOps guys, shout out to y'all. Thanks for helping us keep everything going.
Do you have anybody in specific you want to hit their name? Dude, just shout them out, man, for real.
I mean, that's all of them.
Everybody. All DevOps.
All of them.
Yeah.
If you're not watching the stream, shame on you for one.
Shame! Shame! I want shame viewers! That's what I want!
But yeah.
Shame you!
Oh wow, we're getting violent.
I did not.
Crazy.
EA, please no.
Keep throwing bottles, y'all. Let's throwing bottles. But yeah, I wish there was I wish we could go into so much of just what everyone does, and
I don't have time today for sure.
Right. I mean, just any time, because sometimes the most depressing thing to do is to go and look in the forums or look at YouTube comments and stuff, and it's it wrenches my heart.
Yeah,
but there's that philosophy that most people that like something won't necessarily tell you that they like it. But
at the same time, I spoke with who was I speaking with this morning in branding? So I was speaking with Debbie this morning, and I explained the perspective from psychology. Someone has to love the game so much for some type of misperception or exceeding a lower expectation to not meet reality for them to go so far out of their way to complain about it. So even if someone's complaining about it, they really do love the game. And it's tough. It's really tough because a lot of people, and I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of people that complain about the game do not understand how much effort and work goes in. Why couldn't you just make it the way I wanted it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, there's that. And then, we can go into this,
we're not going to go into this because I love you guys for being here, and I don't want to. I don't want to take up that much.
It's that there's a balance to it, right? As developer, we have to think like developers, right?
Correct.
But we're also people that play games, and so we see things that we want to do. We see things that there's a bug that we just couldn't get fixed.
Yeah.
We're sorry. We really didn't want to put it out there. We're upset that it hurt so many of you, but we also have to continue making the game, and there's always a balance that you have to have with development, and then because we understand what you're going through, we know things aren't necessarily where you want to be, but at the same time, it's we also want to make sure that we're getting as much of the game out there in a good state as possible. So, it's the balance. It's the balance of a community of a game. It's every single thing. If you do any kind of tech, even if you have a service that you do, sometimes something has to, you gotta weigh it out. You gotta weigh it out.
So for here, real quick, I do have one thing we got to do. This is actually a perfect time to take a short break because we just finished up the first half of the broadcast.
Oh snap!
I'm going to put another keyword in chat. And we're going to do our third giveaway of the day. We're actually going to do 3 and 4 back to back because I'm running a little bit late in my schedule. So we're going to draw 2 more giveaways right now in chat. I'm going to draw 1 giveaway with 1 new keyword. And I'm going to make sure I snapshot the Fire Dragon here. It was the second winner. If you guys are tuning into the broadcast, first and foremost, if you guys have not yet done so, please take a second of time to like and retweet the official tweet of the day. Let your friends know what's going on because this is a pretty exciting place to be right now. And we've got a couple more questions. We'll take some questions from chat immediately after this, but this is the official tweet for the day, so I'll give you guys a second of time to like and retweet that. And the second keyword giveaway is going to be the keyword for the moment, and don't be mad at me for this, but it's going to be Fabio.
Oh no.
Fabio for Fabian.
I'm out.
Fabio.
I'm out.
I lost him. It's going to be Fabio.
Should have made it unicorn zebra.
You know what? You're right. Unicorn zebra.
That's my legacy on your stream from now on. It's gonna
Unicorn zebra. Yeah, there it
I need
is.
to go and find out who said unicorn zebra because someone said it and I don't want to take credit for it.
So guys, unicorn zebra will be the new keyword. I'm going to very quickly use the restroom, and I'm going to take a quick bio. I'll be back in like 2 to 3 minutes. We'll draw another giveaway immediately after that. Again, if y'all are tuning into the broadcast right now, I want to say thank you very much for checking out the stream. My name is JoeFails. This is twitch.tv/JoeNeverFails. We're streaming live from Bioware Austin. Every single day, I like to help the average Joe. It's your everyday gamer, both inside and outside of gaming. We will be back in just a few moments. Sit tight. We'll have 2 giveaways, 1 now and 1 right when we get back. We'll be right back, dudes.
Take it easy, guys.
But I'm going to use the bathroom and come back. All right? I'm going to go. It's not muted, but if you want. You can talk to. You want to talk to people a while?
I don't know. That's scary.
You saw me click the button. I clicked the button. Now we're good. Welcome back, everybody. Professional, full-time Twitch broadcaster. Professional.
This is like my second stream ever, so like, I didn't know.
All good. If you guys are tuning in with us today, I want to say thank you guys for giving me a second of time. Fail, ruined. I want to say thank you guys for giving me a second time to take a quick break. We are back from the break. We got another hour, another hour-ish scheduled here. So if you guys are tuning into the broadcast again, welcome back aboard the JoeNeverFails. This is twitch.tv/JoeNeverFails. My name is Joe Fails, professional full-time Twitch partner and broadcaster. I'm hanging out with my buddy Fabian here at Bioware Austin.
So get the Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, it's okay. We can do this all day, man. We can bunny ears and do anything. If you guys are tuning in right now, the keyword in chat for our third giveaway of the day is going to be Unicorn Zebra.
A lot of unicorn.
We're going to do another giveaway immediately after this, and then we're going to ask some questions. So specific art questions. You can ask any question you want, but specific questions for a member of the art team on Bioware. As soon as we do this, we're going to draw it. I'm going to draw this giveaway winner in about 1 minute. I want to get a quick shout out and just very, very side note to this because we're halfway through the day. I want to say thank you to every single person who's tuning into this broadcast and not only supporting the stream, but also tuning in for more information in the Star Wars The Old Republic universe. It's been an absolute pleasure and an absolute blast to be able to be here. And this is such an awesome stream. Just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. And I hope you guys are enjoying. From my perspective, this has been an awesome opportunity to not only from my end, but also for future broadcasts and broadcasters in general and more people to be involved with doing stuff like this in the future. Just so you guys know. Side note, I talked about it before the stream and I gave you guys a tip for it. These giveaways are the best giveaways in the history of Star Wars The Old Republic broadcasting. So if you guys aren't excited enough yet, get excited. With that, we're going to draw our third giveaway winner right now. I want to say thank you guys for watching. Congratulations to our third winner. No sore losers. Wish you all the best. Our third winner today is, wow, Hell's Prodigy. Congratulations. That is a regular.
I would say it's Praise the Unicorn Zebra.
Yeah, Praise Unicorn Zebra. All right, so next we're going to do another one immediately back to back. And the next giveaway is going to be the next giveaway keyword is going to be this in chat. Hell's Prodigy, you are so lucky. You are so lucky. You don't even know why. Again, just so you know this, the way that we're doing giveaways is a little bit different. I don't want anybody sitting in the chat and saying, "Hey, I'm here for this. Oh, I'm here for this. I'm here for this." I don't care. Today is about being able to literally. For me, this is history on my broadcast, but to be able to give you guys an inside perspective and a little bit more of an inside look into a game that I've been very involved in a short period of time, but am going to continue to play for a long period of time, to give you guys an inside look at this is very important. So I hope the giveaways are a nice thing, but I don't want it to be the focus. But you don't know how awesome the giveaways are. So sit tight and chat. This is the next giveaway keyword will be HK55.
What?
HK55. My IQ is 55.
Man, that's old school, dude.
Yeah,
that's, you went back into the catalog.
As old as if you didn't know, this is why I went that way, because I'm getting old, guys.
I'm wearing a hat to cover up my
I'm
face.
getting old, man. Getting old.
I don't have that nice Morgan Freeman kind of layout for my gray hair. It's just all over the place and not nice. So, once I get to that level, I'll start going capless more.
Sprinkled. Real quick, guys. And again, side note, I don't want this to be the focus today. This is not the focus of the broadcast. For anybody that chooses to support the stream in any way, whether it's viewing, chatting, lurking, following, bits, subs, I want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. That's not the focus today. I appreciate everybody who has. Panacea with the 2-month resub, Skywire with the 2-month resub, Willie Lowe with the Twitch Prime sub, Devolfi with the 3-month resub, Tricky Nick with the tier 1, Austin J with the tier 1, Joden Witch with the tier 1. I want to say thank you guys so much for supporting the stream. For anybody with Twitch Prime, enjoy the emotes for the next 30 days. And thank you guys for your kindness and generosity from the bottom of my heart. We're gonna
say thanks for having me, man. Yeah, thanks for coming out and letting us
no stress.
hang out with you a little bit.
I couldn't think of anyone better to ask. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's a pleasure, number one, because it's a specific avenue that I wanted to expose from the Bioware standpoint, but I know you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's an absolute. It's a pleasure, dude. It's for real. I'll have you anytime,
Anytime.
man. Seriously. Maybe we'll have a. I'm not gonna do this, but just as a joke between me and you, maybe we'll have a Dark Souls stream one of these days.
Dude, let's do it.
But
I mean,
maybe we can do a party type drunk souls like you guys did. That
see, that's my thing. Like,
I know.
Dark Souls is bae. And like, I see all the people doing like the drunk souls thing, and that's cool. But I'm like, I'm too into it,
Dude,
man.
my
focused.
my second time ever playing Dark Souls was everybody. My girlfriend wanted to come over and have a party and do everything with everybody, and it was like, we're playing Drunk Souls, and it ended up me and Fabian being on the literally being just passing the controller back and forth, him teaching me how to play because I've never played. So, all right, guys, we're gonna do our fourth giveaway. I'm getting ahead of myself. We're gonna do our fourth giveaway drawing right now. Hell's Prodigy was the third winner. I've got another picture coming in so I can make sure everybody has won and has entered in. If you guys have not entered into the giveaway, all you got to do is make sure you're following the stream. Type in HK55 just like I typed it right there in chat. Keith can't win. I'm taking it away. You can, but you can't. And I'll pull this winner in 1 minute, and we'll take some questions from chat, and we'll move on to our final guest.
Clearly the best.
Yeah. I can't win. You can't stream.
Down.
All right, guys. Without further ado, this will be our fourth giveaway winner of the day.
Let's do it.
Again, the way that giveaways work, we have an incredible amount of giveaways today, and they're also going to be secret. So you have to stay tuned to the end of the broadcast. At the end of the whole thing, I'm going to be itemizing and listing out what the giveaways are and who won what. You don't know what they are?
I have no idea.
Bro.
I was not a part of that conversation.
Dude.
I gotta go.
Dude! You know what I'm saying?
I mean, what?
Dude, can you believe that? That was agreed to, number one.
Nice. That's
but
nice. I'm not eligible apparently now, so that's kind of. Well, I work for. Yeah.
You're right. Let me just go type HK55 in chat.
Program a bot for me real quick or something.
All right, guys. What's up, Johnny? I see you, baby. For you guys who are just tuning into the stream, again, we're going to be wrapping up this interview. After this, we're going to take some questions from chat. So I'm going to pull our fourth giveaway winner of the day right now. Congratulations to No Sore Losers.
Do it.
Wow. Soft light.
Nice.
Congratulations, bro. Oh my goodness, there couldn't be a better one right there.
Nice.
Hey, Adepak, good to see you in chat. And again, big shout outs to everybody who's tuning in. If you're tuning into the stream in the middle of this is our second interview of 3. I'm streaming live from Bioware Austin. My name is JoeNeverFails. I'm a full-time Twitch partner and Twitch broadcaster, professional full-time video game player. And we're going to be wrapping up this interview right now with specific questions for an art-based member of the Bioware community team, Bioware team, pardon me. Mm-hmm. If you guys have any questions about art, questions involving the creation, questions involving how to get involved, we're going to take a couple questions here, and we'll grab another interview in just a second. The governor, I'm gonna ask this question right here because this is the first one and I respect that. The governor. Environmental design can be one of the most difficult things to reconcile between art and models. What does the art team do to ensure that environments maintain a unique quality while being recognizable in the Star Wars universe?
That's a really good question. I think the key to that is like reference. So one thing about one thing about a game is that we have a wealth of information to look at, both I guess canon and non-canon now. But I mean, it all exists. Like some of it is stuff we've invented, but some of it is things that we've just really brought into a more physical space. Maybe it's only been talked about in a novel or something like that. So.
Like described as to as opposed to like actually created in some other form of visual media.
Like it's never been drawn officially or actually ideated outside of just someone. Oh, it's a planet that looks like this. So in terms of making the artwork for that, I mean, a lot of it comes to the concept phase. You know, like it's at that point where we have to decide. Is this where we're going to go with this planet? Like, do we want to? I'll go back to Tython, for instance. Like that is a planet that houses a Jedi temple. Yeah. And and granted, we don't go on the entirety of a planet on any planet. Like you're in a local area of a planet. But I mean, the key to that is like, let's find this and let's try to get as much of the information about that planet into this local area and build up that look and feel in order to make those art assets look as crisp and as clean as and more indicative of the environment that we're in.
And then there's probably a Q&A phase of like, hey, how does this look? Is it going to look more like a YMCA or a Scottish castle? You know what I mean? Like what type of design are we going to go for?
And a lot of that's like writers are the like I was saying before, that's like the first line where they have to say like, this is what we want, and then we start to concept phase that out. Like even before artwork is made that goes into the game, that concept phase is super duper important. I think that answers the question.
It did 100%. I'm gonna address this real quick.
Go for it.
I know part of my language, Mom. Traffic says, who do I blow to get a Sith Recluse armor set, please? I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't even have one.
I don't know.
I helped bring it in. So.
If I were you, I definitely wouldn't stick around and enter these giveaways because there's no possible way we could be giving away one of those today, right? Right? There's no possible way. I mean, I wouldn't stick around for any reason. There's no possible way we'd have one of those to give away.
Maybe.
I'm not being mysterious at all when I say that. Anyway, next question, and again, Governor, thank you so much for that question. That was fantastic. I've got the next two questions already picked up. The next question comes from Moxie's UA. Fabian, can you ask Fabian the feasibility of offering hood up and down versions of robes? Because I know a lot of people. Dude, we're gonna table that one. Okay, we'll table that one for our next guest. Another question. I don't know if this may just be easier if we want to jump in for more stuff. An easy transition, but I want to give personal opinion here. Zalfir says, will we ever see a huge / oversized book of artwork in concept phases?
So like I can't speak to if that could ever happen because I don't deal with that half of like the merchandising or licensing. Mm-hmm. I mean, once again, that's a next specific question. As far as like just me as an artist, like I would love to do that just because it's like we had the collector's edition was the last time that we did anything that's kind of like that.
Yeah, and I'll be very specific. Like if you guys could see that right there, like that type of stuff in a book would be amazing.
And then there's stuff we've done at like going like Star Wars Celebration and like events like that, our Cantina nights and stuff like that. Is where you kind of get there. You go.
By the way, I'd love to go to one of those. Bioware.
But I mean, I think it would be nice. Like even if it's like we could somehow provide some more of that stuff for people to see. Just because there's a lot of it out there, and there's a lot of artwork, and we post a lot of stuff from in game, but sometimes it's kind of cool to see like, hey, this is where they were going with it.
In an actual page of art, it really looks cool.
So if y'all have the interest in it, I would say go bug someone in the forums or something.
Okay,
that'd be the best way to try to get it done.
So when that's another great question, just like we asked to Charles. But hey, Fabian, I want to say thank you so much for coming out, man. I hope you had a blast.
I did.
I had an absolute blast. Just
guys,
learning.
Thank you so much for letting me hang out with y'all.
No stress. Thank you, man. Just learning a little bit more about your involvement and knowing about the process. I find it so interesting, dude, and I really appreciate your time with us today, man. If you guys want to say what's up to Fabian, thank you very much. Everybody say goodbye and hello. We've got one more guest coming in right now, and I hope you guys are ready. We're gonna do another giveaway real quick right now as we transition. I've got one more special guest for us. If you want to do any shout outs, if you want to say thank you to anybody, just rip them out right here.
I'm gonna shout out everyone on our team, just because I can't do everyone because I'd be here for like 10 minutes, but guys, hopefully y'all are watching. I know some of y'all are watching because y'all are at the desk watching, but just thanks for everything that y'all do. Thank the fans, like, dude. Seriously, like,
That's a lot of love right there.
Man,
That's
I appreciate it,
love,
y'all. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to do something for y'all. We'll see. But like seriously, guys, thanks so much for like supporting the game and like checking out Joe and just keeping us going, because like we want to make a great game for you all. We enjoy playing. We enjoy that y'all are playing and getting as much of the game as possible. So yeah, guys, just keep it going. Let's go.
Hey, dude. Come here.
Oh, we're hugging her now.
Thank you so much for coming out, bro. It's always
always
good
a
to see
pleasure.
you. I'm gonna come and say what's up at the end of the stream, no matter what. So
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
catch up with you in a bit.
Cool.
All right, guys. So we've got a new keyword giveaway, and at Lil Rogue in chat, I'm gonna let you know exactly what this giveaway is. The giveaway keyword is this. If you guys are watching the stream, take a second at a time. We've got one more giveaway right now. This will be our official fifth giveaway of the day. Again, the way that we're doing giveaways. Thank you, brother. The official way that we're doing giveaways today is I'm going to be drawing 8 winners. I'll be drawing 8 chat winners of the day. The new giveaway keyword is Def Not Musco. Def Not Musco. But I've got one more interview to do today. But the keyword for the moment is Def Not Musco. Def Not. I'll be right back. Take your time, brother. So for you guys who are tuned in, take a second of time, type in Def Not Musco in chat, just like it says right there, just like it is. And if y'all are tuning in with us today, I want to see, welcome aboard the JoeNeverFails, boys. Thank you to everybody who's watching the stream. We're streaming live from Bioware Austin. I've got one more interview coming in hot. One more interview. I'm really excited for this. I actually got a chance to meet this individual yesterday, and we talked for an hour and a half before I got any work done. Dougal, thank you very much for that little bit of love. Dougal coming in for that Bit Boss. I'm just letting y'all know, I've been Bit Boss all day. Let's get in here real quick. And we'll have our last interview coming in. For you guys who are watching the stream, I want to say thank you guys very much. Thank you very much for supporting the broadcast. And thank you all for tuning in. Again, my name is JoeNeverFails. I'm a professional full-time broadcaster here. Alex, good to see you, brother. Professional full-time Twitch broadcaster here at twitch.tv/JoeNeverFails. I like to help the average Joe, your everyday gamer, both inside and outside the world of the MM Joe. 2017 is the year of the MM Joe. We're specifically broadcasting many different games. I've increased the amount of content and the different amounts of content that we've been streaming over the course of the last couple of months. We're playing games like Elder Scrolls, Black Desert Online, Final Fantasy XIV, and Star Wars The Old Republic. I hope you guys are excited, and I hope you guys are enjoying just as much as I am. Stay tuned and be involved. This is the beginning of a really, really exciting and fun, fun chapter of my career broadcasting. If you guys want to stay connected, please take a second of time to connect up on Twitter with us. We've got a social media connection there. If you guys want to really join the family, we've got a Discord channel right there. If you want to connect in, last but not least, I'm going to be drawing our 5th giveaway winner of the day right now. Would you like to do the honors, my friend?
Yeah,
Would you like to click the button?
Okay. Definitely not me drawing the winner.
Definitely not Musco. What's going on, dude?
How's it going, man?
Boop. Contra Rob! Congratulations, brother. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce you guys to this stranger that was hanging out in the lobby a little bit earlier.
I've been having tons of fun over there. I think you and Fabian should just start a stream where you just talk about his time at Michael's. That would be my favorite stream on Twitch, I think.
It was one of those things where I wanted the background, and we got exactly what I asked for.
So good.
If you guys are tuning in with us right now, I have a very special guest in a now friend of mine, which is so awesome to say. We've got Eric Musco here with us today. I'd like to do a little bit of a background, and if you'd like to introduce yourself to people who may or may not know you.
Yeah, so my name is Eric Musco. I am the community manager for Star Wars The Old Republic. So if you go on the internet, you probably see my name somewhere.
Somewhere on the internet, this man exists.
Sometimes I'm sorry for that. And I will head it off at the pass, just so we don't forget, the 2 questions that got punted to me.
Yes.
So question 1, art book. So I think there was actually an art book that we released right around launch.
Okay.
And there's also the Star Wars Encyclopedia, which has a bunch of art in it.
Okay.
So either of those books, look them up on Amazon because they're both amazing.
What about in direct asking, like, from what's happened from then on to now.
Like a new art book?
Yes.
So I don't know if we would do a new art book, but getting some of that art out in a way that people can get to it, probably something we could work on doing. So I'll pass that on to the team for sure.
Stay tuned.
Yep. Hood toggle, question that's been around for a long, long time.
And this is a really serious one because glamour is the end game. Glamour is the real end game.
Yeah. So this is one of the things that Keith, Charles talk about a lot on the team is the requests like hood toggle that have been around for a long time that people want. I have nothing to announce, not saying it's coming in or anything, but this is the kind of stuff that Keith is definitely going to work on having me and Charles and himself post on the forums and talk to you guys about what you would want.
Okay.
If we did something, what the challenges are, that type of stuff to see if it's something we could potentially get in. Because I know that it's something that people really, really want to be able to do.
The biggest challenges from a design standpoint are revolving around, from my end, just from a gaming standpoint. Like, if I wanted to use specifically the Enigmatic Heroes mask with the Darth Malgus gear set, there's clipping in some of the situations. So to be able to allow that to be accessible and design it around every other asset that's in the game right now takes a lot of work and a lot of time.
Yeah, it would be, to do something like, because again, we've had a lot of conversations about it. It would be a very large undertaking to do it. Doesn't mean it's out of the question though.
So with that being said, hold on just 1 second here.
Sure.
With that being said, I'd like to introduce you guys to Eric Musco. First and foremost, if you can tell us a little bit about the first questions that I have for you are basically everything that I already talked to you about yesterday.
Sure.
Do you remember the exact moment, what the date and time was, what day of the week it was when you became a fan of Star Wars?
You know, it's funny. Luckily, I'm going last, so I heard you ask everybody.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's been prepping the whole time.
Because it's funny, like I don't actually know that I have like a specific point in time that I'm like, Star Wars is everything to me. The earliest memory I have of Star Wars, strangely enough, and I'll set context for age because I think I'm 33, so context for how old I am compared to the movies.
Back in my day.
That's right. The earliest memory that I have, strangely enough, is my parents. I was really young. My parents bought me the Star Wars Micro Machines set.
Big shout outs to Micro Machines,
right?
wherever you are.
Man, it was the Death Star that opens up into like a cantina or something. I'm trying to remember because I was really, really young. I had to be 5, 6 when I got it, and that is the earliest memory I have, and it became my favorite toy for years. I didn't get rid of it literally until I moved to Texas to work here.
Okay.
So I had it from the time I was 6 till I was 26, 27.
Very surprising development here, but that's the second person on this broadcast today that said toys were what connected them to Star Wars. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
And
I have a question for you later on.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where movies are amazing and they have a good connection, but when you're a kid, like toys are everything because you can create your own experiences, right?
Shoutouts to toys everywhere in the world.
Yeah, go you toys, you're the best.
So the toys were what connected you there. Again, I want to give you guys a little bit more of a background perspective, but where along your life, like where in your life directly was it where you realized that you wanted to get involved in gaming and the gaming industry?
How long of a story do you want me to tell?
We got time, man. You know what I mean? We got time.
It's really funny. Like my want to get into the game industry had me accidentally trip my way into the game industry in a really strange way. So, I mean, I was really young, 10, 11 when I was playing Nintendo. I actually played even on a Commodore 64 when I was really, really young. And from the very beginning, I knew I wanted to work in the game industry. I wanted to make games. But like most people, the biggest challenge is, what does that even mean, right? Like, if you want to make video games, what are you actually going to do when you get in? And so my plan is that I had locked it down to that I was going to be an animator. That was my goal. My goal was that I was going to be an animator. But again, showing my age, things like Full Sail and all the stuff that have game design programs, none of this stuff existed back when I was going to college or high school. Mm-hmm. So I was in Evotech High School. I took a multimedia course, and then when I was going to go to college, I ended up going into something called multimedia design, which is like building the intro screens of like DVDs and stuff. Which, by the way, that doesn't sound anything like video game animation.
Yeah.
But somehow I got tricked into that was being the thing that I needed to do. I was in multimedia design for a little bit. Again, whole goal was to get in the game industry, but after a little bit, turned out I had a better affinity for graphic design. So I switched majors, ended up graduating with graphic design, worked in corporate marketing as a graphic designer for 8 years, which has nothing to do with video games or anything like it. And so I ended up just out of it, and I never thought the opportunity would come again to work in gaming. And then while I was working at that job, which was corporate, wasn't really something that I had a lot of enjoyment out of. It was kind of just, it wasn't working in video games. I started a podcast with one of my friends, which for anyone that's been following the Old Republic for a long time, we literally started the original Old Republic podcast. Like, I was a fan site before I even worked here. And so I totally know what it's like on your side of the fence. That's where I started long ago. And I did that for a long time. I got to network with people at the company just like this by doing it. And then I just started applying for every job under the sun, managed to get one, uprooted my life, just took my dog and what else would fit in my car, moved to Austin. That's the rest is history.
So again, it's another one of those things where like just that little bit of inspiration and that little bit of direction in something that was going to make you happy ended up snowballing into a career in the gaming industry that you're enjoying and living in today.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where when I did it, the job that I took down here originally, it wasn't even a permanent job. It was just a contract position. But I was like, you know what? To get into the game industry,
which is really scary.
To get in the game industry, to work on Star Wars, those two things would be my dreams. Like, to do that. Sure, in a year I may be unemployed, but I don't care. Sold all my possessions, me and my dog, drove across the country. The rest is history.
And then again, it's the roll of that dice. It's the risk, that big chance saying, hey, if this were to work out, it would make me happy. I respect that so much, dude.
Yeah, and it's tricky, right? Because once you get into it, you gotta bust your butt to make sure that that dream stays there. But when you've risked everything, it's pretty easy to stay pretty motivated, right?
Yeah,
works out pretty well.
I know a little thing or two about that.
Yeah.
So, side note, you've been working at Bioware for
almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years.
Yep.
So basically, a little bit after the game came out.
Right before launch.
Right before launch.
Yep.
And so for your position, and with everybody who's here from a community perspective, you are somewhat revered and idolized in the community, but at the same time, there's
50-50.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm going with this. There's also the same amount of people that are, oh man, I want more. What is it like from a human standpoint, dealing with knowing that there are a lot of fans of you out there, but also a lot of people that feel negatively towards you?
Yeah, so the fans thing is really easy because it's still kind of just hard to even believe, right? It just
maybe a little overwhelming, though.
It is, right? It almost kind of doesn't make sense even still, right? Like, people come up at cantinas and they want your autograph or something. I'm just like, I'm just a dude.
It's my signature, dude. I feel the exact same way,
I'm just a dude, but if that's cool for you, that's great. So that part's fine. The negative part is really interesting because on one half, like, I've always just in my life, I've always been good at dealing with negativity, right? Like, I make the joke, and it's kind of a crappy joke to make, but like, I'm a small dude, as you've seen now in person. I was bullied as a kid, right? And so I feel like almost that's a really bad way to say it, prepared me really well for like getting into this job. That I've always had that personality of being able to roll with stuff. So for me, it doesn't bother me that much. And one of the things that I actually say is, when people look at me as the bad guy in the situation and they hold something against me, I'm actually okay with it, because that means they're not doing it to someone that works behind me, right? The guys that, Charles, the Fabians, the people that you've been talking to, that they're the ones that are really doing the work to make the game. I want to be their body armor. I want to make sure that when it's coming from the players, if people are like, I hate this guy, he's not giving me the information I want, all that stuff, I actually think that's a good thing. I think that means that something's good in what I'm doing, and that, you know what, give me the hate because I can take it. That's my job.
Dude, I respect that so much. We talked about that yesterday off stream, where it's like, it's going to come no matter what. It's such an I'm going to be really honest with you, dude. Like, I'm not trying to kiss your ass or anything, but like, to be in a community management position and a community leading position, to know that that's coming in and to be able to handle the brunt of that, and to want to protect your other team from it. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I really respect that.
That's 100% my job. And the other thing, you pointed it out earlier, what makes a lot of that what makes a lot of it so much easier too is you are 100% right. Like, no one's telling me I should be fired and that I should die because they don't love the game.
Exactly.
It comes from, like, sure, I wish they didn't express it in that way, but that's okay. Like, everyone's
be aware of your verbiage, guys. We're adults here, okay?
They're gonna do their own thing, right? Like, that's fine. Man. But ultimately, it just comes from, like, they love the game, and I like to call it the community manager filter, right? When someone's like, someone does the crazy ranty, threatening, angry post, somewhere in there is something that's actually upsetting them.
The truth,
And
the actual content.
And if we can figure out what that is, like one of the things that we've tried to do over time, and like Keith's actually really good at this as well in his capacity, even before he was the producer, is
a Google program.
finding the people who really are angry about something, finding their problem and fixing their problem. Because what you'll learn is the people that are that passionate and using it for not the best intentions, if you can turn them to make them understand we're human beings, we're just doing our jobs, we care about the game too, they can become your best advocates.
Yeah, and that's like the premise behind what I want to try to accomplish today, because I know from a community standpoint, just from me being involved in different MMOs, like the amount of people that are upset in this video game specifically is overwhelming, and it does not correlate to how good this video game is. And this is my standpoint. I've only been playing this game for 2.5 months, and I don't have the experience that everybody has had for the last 6 years playing this game, but that's regardless from the fact that this game is still amazing. So, you know, I want to, and this is the reason, this is the core behind wanting to set up something like this, because for you guys to know, the people that work on the game, to know the process that it takes, it does not justify wanting to like scalp someone's face and hang it on their wall on freaking Reddit forum, dude. It doesn't make any sense. Like, these guys are professionals that put their heart and their soul and hours of their lives into this video game for somebody to make a sideways complaining comment, like threatening or to just be pissed off because their mom didn't make them French toast for breakfast. It doesn't make any sense to me.
French toast is really delicious.
It's good, but I mean, like, I'll hug you, bro, wherever you are in your life.
And I'll always tell people too, anger aside, I will always put this disclaimer out. You don't want to make actual threats.
Yeah, please.
I will say, like, those are taken very, very seriously. Trust me, you really don't want to get a knock on your door from police or worse. You don't want to take it that far.
Dude.
Anger's fine, but trust me, you don't want to cross that line for your own sanity.
So,
TSA.
Just FYI, you know.
TSA,
Quick side note here, and another story time moment here. For you being in this position, if you can elaborate maybe one of the biggest challenges you've ever faced in your position to chat, what would it be?
Yeah, so it's really always hard. I think Charles really said this really well, which it's one of those things of having one specific instance is always tricky to have in a specific example. But one of the things that is absolutely one of the hardest things to do, I think, as a community manager, and the thing that's great is, like, people in your position doing streams, like, you're basically a community manager. It's just that you're also
a smaller bubble inside of the community.
You're just also the brand you're representing, right? Whereas in this case, it's a little bit different. I have to play both sides of the coin, right? So I'm the representative of the players to the studio, and I'm the representative of the studio to the players. And so being that bridge provides some very interesting challenges sometimes, right? Where I'm going out and I'm saying something that I understand why we're doing it. I think it makes sense that we're doing it. I understand it from a business perspective, but I know before I ever type any words, community's not gonna like it, right? Nerfing a class. Whenever we nerf something, no one's gonna like it. No one is ever like, yeah, good work, nerfing that. That's just not a thing that happens.
Nerf this!
Yeah, and so that was one of the things that was always really challenging early on, was going into knowing that you're walking into fire before you ever get there.
Being prepared for it at least.
And learning how to navigate that, because when you're going to go into something that's going to be fire, and that goes both ways, right? When I'm taking feedback from the players that I'm bringing to the team, where I'm like, something's not right, like, this is something that was not done properly or whatever it may be.
Some type of imbalance, especially when it comes to PvE or PvP.
Yeah, so going into those situations, knowing how to mitigate the fire was one of the biggest challenges that I had to learn for sure. And it's something that I continue to learn all the time. I'll be like, you know what, I'm never going to use this verb is never going to get used in a forum post ever again, because now I understand how that has effect. And it's really weird that those are the strange types of things that you learn over time.
And like the things that people would latch onto. It's like, of all the things that we're talking about right now, it's this one little spot that you guys are blowing me up about.
Yeah, it's funny how, like, community management's like a death of 1,000 cuts, and it's just learning what each of those cuts is so you don't do it again in the future. But I'd say it's been the biggest challenge, but it's also been the greatest reward of this job, is that I learn something new every day. Something that I thought worked before doesn't work anymore, and it's really cool. The job has tons of little nuance to it, and I think that's the biggest challenge, but admittedly also the most fun.
At the same time, you're managing a Star Wars community, so that
Which
by
is
itself.
Dream come true. I will never forget when this was really early on. This was back when I was still contracted. I wasn't community manager. I was my first role in the team, and I starred in a video for the Old Republic. It's the quick start guides if you want to look them up, and I'm sorry. In those guides, I will never forget how excited I was at the very end of the video. I got to look at the camera and say, "May the force be with you," and I got to do it like I was a human being representing
Reenact this
Star
moment
Wars.
right now. Reenact this moment right now.
Yeah, they'd be like, "So that's how you play the Old Republic. May the force be with you." And it was just like the thing that was so great about it is, I mean, you imagine being a kid who's loved Star Wars since you were 6 to be like, "Hey, someday when you're older and you have more gray hair, you're gonna get to say."
Clip that, please.
You're gonna get to say, like, you're gonna represent Star Wars, and you're gonna get to say the words "May the Force be with you" officially.
Right.
And it was like, I remember, like, I called my mom, my parents right away. I was like, I just got to say "May the Force be with you." The video's gonna come out in a month. It's gonna be awesome. And like, tell my mom and my friends, and like, it's funny in hindsight because now it's not even a thing anymore because I've done it so much.
Yeah.
But God, back then it was like, it was a dream. It was such a dream moment to do that.
And I think that there's a couple people in chat that can relate to you in that moment where, like, just outside of the game itself, but to be able to be engaged in a massively multiplayer online environment where you can role play a Jedi with your friends, like that sentiment is shared with hundreds of thousands of people. Like, that's what people want to feel. That's what people want to say when they role play this video game. That's why I feel like this game it's such a powerful thing. Oh, Dougal, the boss. Dougal, you've become the boss. Side note. It's such a powerful feeling because it resonates with us as kids. We attach to it, and then we get a chance to inject ourselves into this environment where the world is at our fingertips, but it's the world of Star Wars. So, like, that exact feeling, that was very well elaborated, and it's very, very cool to frame the perspective that way.
We hear that. That's one of the things. It's without a doubt the most rewarding part of my job. It often comes at cantinas when people will come up to us and they'll tell us stories, kind of like exactly what you alluded to, where someone will talk about how, you know, getting into the Old Republic is specifically where they met some of their friends. We have people, even in the studio that work here, who've met their wives playing the Old Republic. We had just at Star Wars Celebration, we had a couple.
You heard it here first.
They're
we've got wives for you at Bioware.
Their honeymoon was at the Old Republic Cantina at Star Wars Celebration, and it's so crazy when people do things like that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I don't actually make anything. I don't make anything. I work with amazing people who are amazingly talented who get to make this game, and I'm lucky enough that I get to be the one that gets to represent them in a lot of capacities. And when I get to hear stories like that, it's the first thing I do is immediately go back and tell the team about that stuff, because it's just so cool to really hear what the team has created and how that has a real impact on people's lives. Because video games really have impact on people's lives.
So it's a beautiful thing. I was talking to, I was talking to Charles about it. Like, it's the world creating the Star Wars universe, the Star Wars universe, the video game universe mimicking and mirroring the Star Wars universe, and then the real world mimicking the mirror of the video game universe, and communities being created around communities of communities. It's insane. It's it's such a beautiful thing, because from my end as a gamer, and you guys know, like, we absorb interactive video entertainment from the world of video games. This is our generation. That's the way that we choose to absorb our content, and as gamers every day, I get to decide where I want to find that content. And it's nuts to say, hey, I play this video game, you play this video game, we have a common ground, we can easily be friends. That's what I love about convention culture more than anything else, is that if I walk to somebody from a Star Wars Celebration convention, I've only personally been to a Final Fantasy convention myself, but if I walk up to anybody, I can shake your hand and say, we are similar. You know, if you're playing a video game more so than anything else, which is something that somewhat bugs me about a lot of the elitist community in any video game, but like, for people to hate, or for people to go crazy in chat when you're both playing the same video game, like, you both love the game, that you're both choosing to pay for it, or you're both choosing to play it in your free time, you're so much more similar than you are dissimilar in every situation. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Now, what I'd like to be able to do is, we've got some questions here. I'm going to, before we get into it, I've got some questions, and we're going to take some questions from chat, but we're phasing into the end of this broadcast. Yep. So if you guys are tuning into the stream right now, I'm going to be asking some PvP questions. I'm going to be asking some other questions. I don't know what is going to be able to be answered, so I want to be able to address several different points in this game. I hope you guys are excited for right now. We're going to do our 6th giveaway winner. We're going to draw our 6th giveaway winner right now.
Excellent.
All right. The giveaway keyword is going to be force, capitals. Okay, so the giveaway is started. All you guys need to do is type in force in chat. Navus, you can whisper it to me, and I'll make sure that I can bring it to his attention right now. And you're the only one who can whisper me of everyone.
Take that, everybody else.
Take that, everybody else. So
Nanner.
if you guys are tuned in with us today, again, I want to say thank you very much for increasing the Joe-mentum. Thank you guys for joining us on the Joecomotive today. My name is JoeNeverFails. I'm a full-time professional Twitch broadcaster and Twitch partner here at twitch.tv/JoeNeverFails. We like to help the average Joe. It's your everyday gamer, both inside and outside of gaming. This year in 2017 is the year of the MM Joe. We're going to be reaching out to different communities, exposing different. Thank you very much, Nabu. I got you. Exposing the community of this Twitch broadcast to different MMOs and different games in the realm and the world of MMOs in general. We've been playing lots of different games. We're hyped up for games in the future, but one of the games that I've been playing and specifically concentrating on over the last 3 months has been Star Wars: The Old Republic. If you're tuning in with us right now, we're broadcasting live from Bioware Austin. We've done 3 different interviews with members of the community team and members of the art team, and we've got, for the history books, the biggest giveaways done in the history of Star Wars: The Old Republic.
I think the only thing that could rival it is the marathon stream I did, but I streamed for like 17 hours. And even then I don't know. You still may top it.
Dude, I'm just letting you guys know, we have some of the craziest giveaways ever in the history of Star Wars. I don't want you to be here for the giveaways because the context and the content of this stream is what I want you guys to be focusing on. So, just so you know, I will. That will be after the fact, probably not live. Just so you guys know, the way that we're doing giveaways is I'm drawing people's names from chat. You need to stick around till the end of the stream to, number one, find out what you won, and also give me the information that I need in order to send you your giveaway. And I'll be letting you guys know what you've won, and we've got a surprise.
We do.
We actually have another surprise giveaway.
Because I'm like, you're going to rival some of the other stream giveaways we've done, but that's why I have an extra prize to throw it to just make sure. To make sure that it tops it.
Exeter, just letting you know, the first time you put that in chat, I already copy pasted it for you. I'm going to be taking care of that the best I possibly can. That's a serious PvP question, and you guys know I'm all about the part of my language. But I'm all about the PvP. I made it almost the whole stream without swearing,
That's
man.
very PvP of you, I feel like.
Yeah.
That's very PvP.
But I saw that
Joe
question.
versus the censor.
I saw that the first time you put it in chat. I've already copy pasted it into another page over here. So, again, if y'all are tuning into the stream right now, make sure you click the follow button. If you have not yet done so, we've got an official tweet for the day. If you have not yet, please take a second of time to like and retweet the official tweet for the broadcast. Where's the actual chats over here? And if you'd like to follow us on social media, you can click the follow button while you're there. Yeah, we're gonna be asking some really I want to ask some very serious quality of life questions, and I don't think we have a better chance than for right now to ask.
I'm here for your questioning.
Yeah. So for you guys who are tuned in, we're gonna draw our 6th giveaway winner of the day. And we'll do the last 2 back to back, so because of time, sure. Because we're coming up close.
Sure. And the 3rd, because I'm gonna add another one on top of it.
And the 3rd, exactly. We'll do 3 giveaways after the end of this line of questioning.
We can end with that.
I'm gonna ask some questions. We're gonna ask some questions from chat, and that will basically wrap it up right there. So, for you guys who are tuned in, I wish you guys the absolute best. The winner of our 6th giveaway of the day today. No sore losers.
Yeah, Keith.
No sore losers. I wish you all the best. Congratulations. Make sure you congratulate the winner. Winner of our 6th giveaway of the day today is Mr. Tool 24 with the good old Heisenberg.
Yeah.
The good old Heisenberg.
It's a pretty scary Heisenberg.
It's a really scary. It's a fan art Heisenberg.
Is it? I was gonna say
that's not an official Heisenberg.
It's pretty good though.
Yeah. Let's do this here. Oh, whoops. Adjula, of course I will. I'm going to tell you a story as well at the end. I'm going to tell you guys a story and then wrap up on my end. Congrats. Okay. So this last line of questioning for you guys who are tuned in, this is Joe's line of questioning. So I have some serious questions.
Hit me.
I've got some serious questions, and this is from my perspective, but also from a fan's perspective.
Okay.
We've got some more questions for later on in the day. But where I'm coming from, I gotta remember everything that I wanted to ask. Where I'm coming from a broadcasting standpoint and from a gaming standpoint in this video game, there's lots of stuff in terms of quality of life that people have been asking about, things that I've encountered myself. I'm going to ask a couple questions in terms of like pertinent information that I want to know. Hopefully you guys will resonate. These are very specific, but in terms of the this is probably one of the hardest ones. For me,
Start with the hard one.
I'm going to start with the hard one because I know that there's haters in chat that are watching this right now that are involved with this. So for me, from my end, something that has astounded me in terms of the community of the chat environment in Star Wars: The Old Republic has been the amount of toxicity and the amount of toxic chat that is allowed to exist in this video game.
Yep.
This is a very direct question, but do you guys have any plans to address this? Because from what I've seen in my end, the lack of addressing it is actually somewhat of a choice to allow it to exist.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to address this? Because for me, from my end, I feel like a lot of new players come on into the game and they see ridiculous hate speech and ridiculously vulgar language, and they say, "Well, what is this? Who runs this?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's a few things. One, I would agree with you. I think that we definitely have room to grow there for sure, especially if you look at Fleet Chat, right? Like Fleet Chat has only gotten worse, I think. This is something that Keith has talked a lot about internally, especially as well, is figuring out what we can do to work on cleaning that up. There's a few things. One, and this is just my standard PSA.
Yeah.
Anytime you guys see it, please report it.
That is the most important piece of advice I can tell and reiterate to everybody in chat. Don't allow it to exist.
Right.
And you think because it's being said that somebody else is reporting it, the fact that people see it and don't do anything about it is just as much of a problem as the fact that it's not being enforced as much as it should be, from my personal opinion.
And we've had problems with this in the past, and admittedly, there's definitely been times where we've definitely not been as good as we should have been about dealing with reported stuff in general, not just this type of problem. And so, for a while, we had a culture of people just not reporting anything, which was really not good.
Which is the culture right now. I'll be very honest, from a very short period of time.
And I don't think we're quite there, because what I definitely don't want to do is I definitely don't want to say, hey, you guys aren't reporting it, so that's why the problem exists, because that's not at all accurate, right? We need to have better controls in place to make sure that things like hate speech and that type of stuff, one, gets picked up, so it just gets filtered out.
That's the easiest way. Is just filter it. Stars, man.
Those type of people get squelched, so they just can't talk, and whether they know that or not. And then, of course, if it's real bad, harassment, hate speech, get them out. Let them know, put them on notice, and then give them a little break from the game, get them out. Now that stuff definitely comes and is helped by being reported, but this is definitely a really, really good topic that we should talk about. We should continue to talk about
on the forums
and stuff. We'll do some discussion threads. This is absolutely a topic we will talk about, how we can solve this problem and what we can do to make it better, because I agree with you. None of us ever want to log in and go on the fleet and be like...
That's the reason why I'm saving it for this, because it's the first thing that I realized in this video game, and it blew my mind. Quick side note for chat. Chat's asking what's for lunch. It's what everyone is asking about.
That's a very good
What
question.
is for lunch? Can we...
Yeah.
Good old Rudy's barbecue, boys.
Thanks, Alexanne.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
We
just made Alexanne's day.
Literally.
She's like, am I going to get to be on mic?
Can I say it? No one cares. I just wanted to throw that out there, guys.
Yep.
And it's National Donut Day, by the way.
Correct. So we should clearly have some donuts dipped in barbecue as a thing. But anyway, yes, this in-game chat, we have growth that we have to make there. And I think that problem has gotten worse, not better. And so it's definitely something, one, we talk about a lot internally, but we'll talk more with you guys about on how we can improve, because that's definitely a problem.
Okay, so that's something that I wanted to address.
Yep.
That being said, there are certain other things that I want to address from a very raw community standpoint right now. So, from one thing that I've realized from playing other video games and doing the amount of research, and something that I've been asking people about for months, playing this game for two months, has been, and this was basically the beginning of the question that I asked earlier in the day, where the community is right now. And in the history of this video game, Bioware has been very much so heavily focused on the story aspect of the game. With the roadmap that just came out, literally letting us know that the game is focusing on more massively multiplayer online content of this game. What things is Bioware doing to make sure that this type of content is being designed in a good way? Like, what can you tell the community?
Yeah.
How much can you tell us, like,
Yeah.
okay. How much can you tell us about this content and its development to ensure that the community gets the type of content that they want moving forward?
So there's a couple different parts, and this is actually I'll speak to it from my side. I'll take the how it's being designed out of the equation, because I actually do one of the things that I get asked fairly frequently, and it's actually very hard to answer, is what do I do all day? It's actually a pretty hard question to answer.
What
in
do you
general.
do all day, Eric?
Right.
What do you?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Wearing sandals, apparently.
Correct. People always love when they see that I wear sandals. I don't know why.
flip out.
I don't know why. It's great. They're comfortable. We're in Texas. It's the one perk of having hotness.
Places to vent the heat.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a couple different things that we do just from my side of the house on community that help move towards those things. So focus groups. It's something that we do fairly frequently, and we do that at almost all stages of development. So something is a glimmer of an idea. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did X?
Yeah.
We will do focus groups. And not only will we do focus groups with
Thank you.
just because this is another thing that we get asked a lot, is the forums are, people call them the 1%ers. It's the super hardcore players. It's the minority, right? And oftentimes that's fairly true. And so we often get asked, how do you get feedback from everybody? Focus groups is one of the ways that we do it. So we'll do a focus group that will cover a range of topics, and we will get highly active players who play PvP, play PvE, play only story content, don't log in very often. They're just fairly infrequent players, but they're active subs. People who left the game, people who have never played the game. We cover as big of a net as possible, and we do that from when an idea is a glimmer to when the idea is fairly fleshed out to when it is actually playable on a dev server. We do focus groups constantly, getting people in to take a look at content and see what they want to see, how they feel about it, and it's from all different player types. We have closed environments, as many people know. We did it with Tithe. We've done it with Avella and Esne. So in an instance like that, if we're doing a ops group, one of the things that we could certainly do is we bring in highly skilled players, best players in the world, progression guilds. We bring them in to bang their heads against the content. We bring in more casual groups so that we can kind of get a full gambit of skill. So testing environments, we do it from focus groups. Then we do, I do a lot of impromptu gathering of feedback from places where people are talking about the game unprompted. And one of the things that we're going to do more that Keith highlighted in the roadmap is the second version of that, which is we're going to prompt you for your feedback. So example, how do you guys think we should deal with the negativity in game? Make a forum post on it, push it out on social media, get your feedback. One of the things that we really want to try to do is, beyond what we already do, is more visibly get all of you into the conversation before we get to as multiple stages of the process.
And the reason why I ask this question is to allow people who are watching and people who played this game and are subs to this game, all of the critics that we have out there, like, that is a lot of a plan to address the future of this video game. So for everybody and anybody who sits in chat going, man, they have no idea, they're not doing anything, they're just collecting my sub. There is a ridiculous amount of work in development right now for development. So they're developing development for the future of this game. Like
We have a development
There's a
plan.
development plan.
Yeah.
And that's really serious. And you guys need to know that. That's one of the main questions I wanted to ask, to get an answer to let you guys know what happens behind the scenes. And that's a lot of work.
Yep.
There's a lot of work that goes into that, and you need to know that. The Star Wars The Old Republic community needs to understand that. That's why I'm asking the question.
And one of the things that I think is an important point on that too is that the logical question that comes from that is, how come you release the thing I didn't like, right? And that's a very, very valid question. And one of the things is, depending on when we've been doing testing during what we've been doing at one time, sometimes, yes, we may do something that people don't like, nerfing a class, something less obvious than that. But there's also plenty of situations where we know as it got released that we're going to have to make changes to this not far after launch. And we've already planned them and started working on them. And we knew that before it got out. It's only because we didn't have enough time necessarily to get it adjusted to be in a perfect place before it goes out. gaming is iterative, right? So as soon as something goes out the door, it doesn't mean we wiped our hands with it and it's gone. We're going to continue to iterate on things and make it better, unlike my English.
So you're good.
Yep.
I barely English. What I'm gonna do right now, guys, because we're coming up into time, I'm going to grab questions from chat and then we'll finish it up.
Yeah,
so
do it up.
I have more specific questions to ask, but it doesn't really make sense to do this live, and I know I'm not going to be able to get any type of answer that I'm looking for that's going to make anybody happy in chat.
Yep.
So for you guys who are watching the stream right now,
And I'll say this on stream too, you're free to get some questions and send them over.
Yeah.
That you could always put on your stream later or whatever.
first and foremost,
Also fine,
yes,
too.
100%.
Charles is
I'm
nodding yes as well, so.
I'm gonna drop this in here right now. I've been asking you guys all week to ask questions, and I have a line of questioning. I also have a line of influencer questions involved as well, but that while I'm here, I'm dropping my Discord link in chat. If you guys want to drop questions into the Discord link, there's a specific Star Wars channel where you guys can jump in the Discord, drop it. I'll be able to be in contact with. But for right now, I'm going to ask a couple of different questions that have been asked in chat, and we're going to draw 3 giveaways back to back by the end of the stream. And then for everybody that's here, I'm going to tell you what the giveaways are and give y'all an understanding for how colossal and phenomenal this and future broadcasts like this are going to be. 'Cause I live 10 minutes away, man.
It's pretty crazy.
I live 10 minutes away from Bioware, dude.
Pretty crazy.
Okay, so
Being in Austin's pretty all right.
it's not bad. The first question that I saw in here, Des Saras asks, any plans for a SWOTR companion app like in WoW?
Let me tell you.
Great quality of life improvement to be able to view, buy, sell, interact with guilds.
Yeah. Let me tell you how much we would love to do one. Like crew skills, the idea of just being like...
Being able to manage that offline?
I think it's probably because we'd all just get laid off if there was a companion. No, I'm kidding. Because we'd all be busy doing crew skills. It's something we get asked a lot, and it's a very, very good idea and suggestion. It's something we talk about fairly frequently. It's going to be the standard answer of it's a very massive undertaking to make a companion app, and we would love to do it. So if we have the opportunity to do so in the future, we will. No plans currently, but know that it is definitely on our radar as something that people would have great interest in.
So
I could just see over the microphone Will Musco shave his soul patch. It just made me laugh.
never.
I have shaved it once since I was 16 because I did a Movember once. And I lost all my power. That's where all my power comes from, so.
Okay. Bale, this is a silly question, but this will be a quick one. Any plans for guild ships?
Oh.
Generally.
Just generally, are there plans for guild ships? I'm going to have to assume you know that they already exist. Because if you don't, I have great news. We have plans for guild ships, and they're already in the game. I'm going to assume you already know that. I'm just being sarcastic. Are there plans to enhance guild ships? We definitely have taken a look lately at guild stuff in general. We know that there's been a lot of people who want quality of life for guilds, so more guild functionality, like guild control functionality, ways to move decorations around easier, more rooms, that type of stuff for guild ships, conquest changes. So we've definitely taken a hard look at guilds in general. There's nothing specific that I have to say about guild ships, but guilds in general are very much on our radar.
Okay. I'm going to go to a very specific PvP type question here. So we're going to throw a curveball.
Do it.
Going to throw a curveball, and then I'm going to ask another question. That's the other question that I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Navu asks, are there any plans in the works to allow for older ranked rewards to be rewards for new PvP seasons? Yes.
Yeah. We funny enough, not even last week, there was an email thread going through the dev team about this exact topic, about old PvP rewards and whether or not we would do anything with them, bring them back, put them back in some other capacity. And as soon as chat catches up to me saying those words, I'm sure people will have some naysays against what I just said. There's some challenges there, right? Because if we gave someone a PvP reward in Season 2, they earned a reward in Season 2 with the idea of exclusivity, potentially. So we need to be sensitive to that. So this is a topic that I wouldn't be surprised if we had post we posted on the forums or something to get everyone's opinions, because we would love to be able to bring back older rewards that have kind of gone away. We did it with some of the original PvE armor sets, like the Kalumi, Tinies, and Rakata sets. We brought those onto the cartel market that people could buy. We would not bring these back onto the cartel market. Just want to put that out there. There's no plans currently, at least, to do that. We would most likely put them in game if we did something with them. But again, people earned them at one point thinking this is something that I have that I earned for this season. There'll be some sensitivity if we change that and we go, hey, now you can earn them for doing something else. So we have to be careful about that. We have definitely talked about it because we would love to bring all of those items back, because there's a lot of them from long ago, to bring them back into the game. Just got to be sensitive to it.
So this is where I come from directly, because I and anybody else who wants to toss hate or shade or whatever it is, like, I was top 100 in the world in Final Fantasy Season 2 Feast, and it came with a gear set that's only available in Season 2. From my perspective, the exclusivity of that is awesome, but also for people who haven't been playing the game that wanted that specific gear set, how can it become available? I'm pretty sure from a community standpoint, nobody wants to see it on the cartel market, but how do we put it in the game at that point? How does it become involved?
Right.
Is it going to be a ridiculous amount of, like, what is it,
unassembled components?
Unassembled components? Is it going to be just like the most unattainable version of unassembled components ever?
Right, and that's where we would then have to talk about it, right? Like, is it some crazy unassembled component cost? Does it come from some new achievement? There's a million different things we can do, but again, we absolutely want to be sensitive to the fact that people worked to earn that, and we don't want to take away what they've earned either. But
it's a very serious situation, and there's a lot of thought and effort going into it.
I understand it either way, right? Like, if you told me tomorrow that I could get the Narshada-inspired Cyber Rancor that they got from, like, Season 1 or 2, as an avid mount collector, I would be like, I don't care what it is, I will do it. But to someone who's riding around on the fleet right now, and they're one of 2 people that have it because they're one of the few top tier that got it.
Now, this follow up, because this is fantastic, but Navu said very close recolor and rename.
Recolors are tricky because you can already dye armor. So,
but mounts or anything like that.
Mounts, true. Mounts, we could do a different version. That still takes a little bit of the exclusivity away, but that's certainly maybe more realistic. But it also means we have to do work to create all those. And by the way, reskins are not as easy as they seem, so that's tricky. But these are the exact conversations we want to have with you, because we want to understand where's the PvP player sensitivity on those items, and how can we meet everyone in the middle if there is a middle ground. Okay. And maybe there isn't.
Yo, Gears of Gods, congratulations on the Revan. I wonder if, like, we could ever do a Revan giveaway on a stream like this.
That sounds like something we should do at some point.
It'd be crazy if, like, we actually had a Revan Reborn armor set to give away today. If you guys just paid attention to the end of the stream, it'd be crazy, but I wouldn't, like, allude to anything like that in a mysterious way on my stream, would I? So last question. This is the most important thing that I want to ask you today. Okay. From playing some PvP in this game, and when I say some, I've probably played, I don't know, 100 regs matches, maybe more than 100 regs matches. Look at the chat go, dude. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Hundreds regs matches, maybe 200 regs matches. You guys know how much I've played PvP on the stream. One of the things that I've seen that is somewhat unfathomable is it's Mercs. What is it? 75% reheal. Yeah. That's the ability that I'm talking about, right?
I'm only laughing because of Keith. It's the only reason I'm laughing.
I'm just throwing this out there. I don't want to offend any Mercs out there that love playing the class, because I know how
look he walks in.
I know how exciting it can be to play a class that's broken and OP, but how do you guys plan to address the PvP balancing system? Because I read this in the roadmap, and this is something that a lot of people care about right now, is the balancing the classes.
Yeah. So here is our plan, and I'm gonna not make eye contact with Keith as I say these words. In the short term, probably in the next week or two.
And there's a lot of comment about this in chat right now.
There's probably in the next week or two, we're gonna put up I already made eye contact with Keith. We're gonna make a post that highlights the classes that we're looking at changing, and kind of just a general up or down arrow, right? Like, are they going to get buffed or are they going to get nerfed, kind of thing.
Nerf Musco.
Right? Yeah. To be fair, one of my 2 mains is a Merc, so I'm guessing you're kind of there. In the next week or two, we're going to make a post that's going to highlight just the classes that we intend to change in the coming months, and kind of an up or down. Are they going to get buffed or are they going to get nerfed? And again, the class changes start in 5.3, right? I'm looking at you guys. 5.3 is when they start, which is in July. mid-July. And once we get beyond that, then we're going to start giving you more specifics about exactly what is going to happen. Yes, currently, mercs are on the list of classes that are going to get tailored down. How far and what is going to happen? Like, will it be damage, survivability, both, neither? I don't know yet. Actually, I can't remember, but I should know. But all those specifics will come out in the coming weeks, for sure. And that's information we want to make sure to get in your hand. We look at, and we've talked about this before, not only do we look at player feedback on where classes stand, we look at data, not just PvE, but PvP, win rates, all that type of stuff.
That's the second follow-up to that question is how are you going to handle, and how, if you can address that directly with a little bit more of the behind the scenes, how do you go about actually making those changes? Because I'm sure just as many people want to know if it's happening and then how it's happening.
Yeah, so the way that we kind of go about this process from behind the scenes is we have a bi-weekly meeting, balance meeting, where we go over every class and we go over a bunch of data. We have just buckets of data. And I am also in that meeting, as is Keith, more in my role, to really just talk about, okay, here's what the data says, what do players say? Sometimes they match, sometimes they don't, and then we work out why they don't match necessarily. Okay. And then in that meeting, we kind of talk about, okay, what are the changes we want to plan for the future? When can we make these changes happen? Which is really probably the most important question players want to know is when is that change going to happen? Yeah. And then once we know when they're going to happen and what we're going to do or what we're likely to do, then it goes into what we're starting down the path of right now, which is communicating to you what's going to happen and when. So again, coming weeks, we'll talk about at least the classes, probably down to the discipline level of whether they're getting nerfed or buffed. And then in the weeks after that, we'll start talking more detail about exactly what is going to be changing to the classes. Now, once we get to that point, there's one of two things that can happen. One, sometimes they'll go on PTS, either an open PTS, closed PTS, or sometimes they won't. But we want to still give you the detailed information because we know a lot of you out there are number crunchers, min-maxer, my baby bottle water.
No, they're asking give Musco water too. And he's got his one bottle right there.
I got my baby bottle water.
Oh, baby needs his water.
Someone said
got
that earlier,
his water,
like,
man.
why is Musco drinking out of a baby bottle?
Oh, they're making the comment about the small bottle.
Yeah.
Guys, that's savage.
We have
that's
a mini
savage.
fridge with mini waters.
That's savage.
Also, I only ever drink out of tiny bottles. It's just a thing I have. I don't do that. But yeah, so then you guys will get the details so you can napkin math it with us because we know that a lot of you are min-maxers. And so you can help provide us context on that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
I think that's something that people really want to know about. Two. If we can do two, if you're cool, man.
Do two.
I've got two questions left because one actually phases into my wrap up, and we'll do the giveaways after this.
Yeah, sure.
So, Des Saris is another great question. Really good questions coming from you today. So the last question that I really want to, the last direct question that I'm asking from chat in terms of specific stuff for the future, Bad Feeling Podcast and Flesh Ribbon are both asking about craftable weapon tunings. Is that something that can be implemented into the game, or specifically one that shoots sparkle power? I'm only asking this question because it's freaking ridiculous. That's the only reason why I need to know.
Let's be clear. Sparkle powder is the best thing that we've ever put in the game.
Need sparkle powder.
Second only to Kaizyken. I think we can all agree with that.
Need sparkle
we
powder.
Agree with that. We also need more
fabulous.
colors for sparkle powder. That's my feedback to the team. So things like weapon tunings are obviously very rare and valuable items. And so anytime we're putting them in the game, really, honestly, I could back that up a step. This is true of literally any item we put in the game. Armor, weapon, dyes, weapon tunings. We want to try to find places to put them. We try to diversify it. In some cases, items are only cartel market, non-cartel market only, both. Weapon tunings, I think all of them are cartel market right now. Is there one that's not? The DVL pack had some in it, which you could get those non-cartel market. That doesn't matter. Nonetheless, that's good suggestions. That type of stuff where you see a gap where it would be good to get a weapon tuning through some other mechanism, that's the kind of feedback we want to hear. So, is it possible? Anything's possible. Keith says we are already talking about doing
already
that exact
talking
thing.
about it.
There you go. Keith,
All right.
Keith has waved me down.
So the last question that I'm going to ask, and I'm going to transition this gonna transition this into the end of the stream as of right now. So
Can I cheat for 1 second?
Yeah,
Because I saw
absolutely.
something come up a bunch that I just
Yeah.
want to make sure we get, so you don't get yelled at for not asking it.
Yeah.
Season rewards is something we're working on getting
Exactly,
information
yeah.
out in the next as soon as we can.
And the only reason why I'm going over
couple-
some questions,
Yeah.
the next couple of
yeah, and I just want to make sure, because like I said, I don't want you to get yelled at because I know
Yeah.
people asked it a lot. Coming soon, big TM.
The
as soon as we
reason
can.
why I'm specifically picking some questions and specifically skipping over others is because it's either already been addressed by the community team and the information's available on Google or available on the forums, and it's stuff that you can easily find. So questions that you're asking that the information is already out there, I'm not gonna waste the time. You know what I mean? Like this is a really cool opportunity to be able to ask these questions. Sparkle powder is way more important, bro. Okay, so
asking the important questions.
yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, I had to know. The last question that I'm going to ask, because this is going to transition into my closing remarks and my closing for the stream, is DeSaris asks another question. Thanks for asking my question about the app. Next is, what support is Bioware/Swoter providing for streamers and players, as there are only a few channels here on Twitch, but could use some marketing support by HQ. Do you want to address that? Because I'm also going to give my own personal
Yeah, I
opinion
can.
on that.
I'll start
at
with
the end of the stream.
I'll start with at least our stance on it, and then you can certainly speak to your experience as well. I will start with the first right out of the gates. If you are streaming the Old Republic, making videos of the Old Republic, making any content for the Old Republic, get in touch with me as soon as possible. Find me on the forums, find me on Twitter. Ask Joe; he can get you the information. Get in touch with me. You will find. I don't care if you have one viewer and it's your brother. We will give you support in any way that we can. We're not here to make your channel for you, but we are absolutely here to support you in everything that you can do. We'll give you codes for giveaways.
Really well said, bro.
Right? I mean, like there have certainly been times where people have expected that we will just give them retweets to help them grow their channel. That's not what we're here for, but we're here to give you every support in every way that we can. So we will give you codes for giveaways. We will try to give you interviews if we can. We will do literally anything that we can try to do. Just ask. Worst case, I say no. But we will do everything that we can to give you giveaway. Things like retweets and stuff on social media are a little trickier, but not out of the question either. Just show that you're willing to stream the game or make your content and do it consistently and regularly. If it's the first time you've streamed the game, we're probably not going to give you a ton of support just because we need to see that you're going to stick to it. But just do it for a little while. Make sure to stay in touch with me, and as soon as it makes sense, we will absolutely give you promotion. We want the channel to grow. We want the communities to grow, Joe's community. We want every one of our streamers and YouTubers and podcasts, we want all their communities to grow because, one, it helps us in just the business sense, but two, it's fun, right? Like, we get to do more fun stuff like this by just having a bigger, broader community. So,
and I'm going to speak in depth on this in just a few moments. I want to get a shout out to Kui in chat again, because the customer service for this game is absolutely phenomenal, and I'm really glad that they were able to answer your questions there. Eric's contact for Twitter is defnotmusco, at defnotmusco. It's actually just Musco. At Musco is his Twitter. Real quick, last thing I'm gonna bring up in the broadcast is a special thank you from somebody in my community. Okay. And the addressing here is I get a lot of flack for this every day. It's unwarranted and unjustified. Number one, I want you guys to know this. Like, just side note, I'm going to get a little righteous here for a second, but I've busted my ass to be able to get to a place in my career where this can happen for me. So for anybody who is sitting there in a salty place or licking their salt popsicle and saying, hey, why are they supporting Joe? Why are they doing this? Well, I'll be very honest with you. I came about it in the absolute right way, and from the first day I played this game, I've been in a business relationship with Bioware and the community team. I've asked for things, and they are readily available to anybody who's asking for it. Bioware wants to, as clearly seen here, they want to be able to support people in this community that create communities inside of the game. They want to, and they do it every single day. They do it better than a lot of companies out there. They do it a lot better than a lot of other companies. So, like, I'm going to speak directly to this at the end of the day, but a big thank you because of the giveaways that you've given to this channel. I want to tell you a quick story, and for everybody else who knows this is like one of the coolest impacts of anybody that's ever been made on my life, period. So my first day playing Star Wars The Old Republic, after hitting max level, I started running flashpoints on Harbinger. But the literal first flashpoint that I ever got into was with this guy out of nowhere. He was wearing just underwear, big beard, and brown hair, and he was my healer. And I look at his character and I laugh.
like where this story's
I look at his character, I'm just like, this is hilarious, dude. This is awesome. And he gave me a little piece of advice. We run through the whole thing and we just blazed through it and we completed it. And at the end of the flashpoint, I was like, good job, dude, GG. And he's like, yeah, thanks, man. And I clicked that little friend button, add friend. And I've been in touch with him. I messaged him. I was like, yo, you want to stick around for another? And I've literally became friends with this guy. And you guys know this from chat. This is Audril. Audril, who's in chat right here, lives in Malaysia. And he's been playing this game since launch, free to play.
Wow.
And he was one of the first people that was able to win a 30-day sub from my stream, from these 30-day time card giveaways that you guys have given us. So when I say, like, giveaways are my favorite thing in the whole world to do, that's why we busted our ass to give you guys some of the coolest ones today. This gentleman right here, my buddy Audril, he has been messaging me all day to let you know, specifically you, because he knows where we got these from. If it's not too much to ask, by the end of the interview, can you tell Musco how much I appreciate those codes and how much he appreciates you allowing him to play this game subbed? Because he's been able to connect with our entire community in the raids that we do, in all of the hardcore stuff now for the first time in 6 years, man. So, Audril, I love you, bro. Everybody who's got a JNF badge in their name next to their name in freaking chat, top to bottom, hearts in chat, let's go. I want to get some Audril love and I want to get some Musco love in chat. And that's going to be basically the end of what we've got going on today. But dude, for real, man, like it's an impact. We are impacting a community.
Honestly, really, the thanks goes to Audril for playing the game, right? For sticking around for that long, for playing the Old Republic, and then secondarily for finding your stream. He couldn't have got the code if he didn't come here. So, being a part of your community.
I'm not going to take. I'm literally not going to take any of the credit for it. We're
both going to walk away. You're not taking any credit.
Dude, I'm not going to take any credit because you guys know from people who are watching this game in chat and watching and being involved in this community right now, like, this game is that good. And it doesn't matter whether you see it from me or you've played it. This game is just merely that good. I don't need to do much of anything but show it to you guys. And I'm going to continue to show it to you guys. And I'll continue to create communities around it. We've got a ridiculously large Imperial side of the guild. We've got a growing Republic side of the guild. If you guys play this game and you want to play this game, we're on Harbinger. We play every day, man. We got a referral code right there in chat. If you guys haven't used a referral code, drop a referral code. It's a free server transfer. We got 800 people on Harbinger, 100 people on the Republic side, filthy, dirty Republicans. But it's one of those things. Like, it's simple. I want to, and it wants to continue to strive to create a community where there is zero boundary between watching this broadcast and being involved in playing this video game. And that's it. It's simple. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to toss shade at anybody. I'm not trying to ruin somebody's PvP experience. I just want to enjoy the game and continue to showcase that on Twitch. So again, to everybody, man, specifically, bro, I appreciate you.
I'm gonna let you do the last giveaways, but should I tell them what the surprise giveaway is?
In just 1 second.
Right.
So number one, and congratulations to everybody who stuck around to the end. We're gonna be doing 3 giveaways in a row right now. These last 3 giveaways, give me 1 second. These last 3 giveaways are going to be back to back to back. So we're gonna get 3 codes. I need keywords for every one of these. Give me 1 second. For the first giveaway right now, I want to say first and foremost, thank you guys for tuning into the broadcast. Thank you guys for supporting the stream. Thank you guys for sticking around, because not only are we going to be doing these giveaways, but we're also going to be announcing what the giveaways are, which is probably the most exciting point of this entire broadcast.
Because you still don't know.
You still don't know what they are, and I guarantee you're going to want to know what they are. The next giveaway keyword is going to be. Is that how we spell it? Is it the EI? EI? Okay, first giveaway keyword is going to be Keith. It's going to be Keith. Can I just show people? Can I just that you exist, man? Yeah. Can you get in here?
I'm gonna roll out too. It's just gonna be Keith.
Guys, world's first NA.
That's it. First time here.
World's first
Hey
NA.
guys.
We got Keith.
Hey.
He's a real boy. He's a real boy. Dude, it's been such a blast. It's been such a blast to get in
That's
here.
I'm actually here.
That's true. That's true.
Told you I wasn't going to be able to do that.
Dude, thank you so much for taking some time. I know you've been busy all day, but it's a blast to just be able to say, hey guys, if you've never met Keith before, if you want to introduce yourself real quick, I'd love to get you in here and say what's up.
What's your name? Who are you, Keith?
What's your name?
I don't know who I am. I'm stunned to actually be here.
Hey, dude, it's all good, man. It's all good.
I'm online. It's like, oh my God, I'm supposed to do this, right? So, I mean, Charles over laughing at me. He does this stuff all the time, right? So,
Dude, it's
But
it's a blast, man.
It's
so.
a blast to be here. I was listening to you guys as I walked in, and you're having fun. All right, poking fun at Musco. I do that every day. Okay. I sit next to this guy, and for the last 3 years, it's been pretty fun. So I'm the producer for the game, right? Picked up the role around April 1st, right?
Yep.
No, Fool's Day. Yeah, it's kind
Yeah,
of.
I was gonna
I should
say,
say April 2nd, right?
Gotcha.
You should go with April 2nd.
won't go away.
Yeah, it won't go away, right? I met a lot of people at cantinas, right? Been doing that for the last 3 years, right? Been with Bioware for the last 6, and been in the gaming industry the last 12, right? So I played the game. I think you guys already introduced myself.
Just a little
Little
bit.
bit.
Keith plays the Old Republic.
Right, so-
just a little bit.
That's a dramatic understatement.
yeah.
Well, I play both sides. People ask me, what do I play a lot? And I actually have a balance in both. I enjoy both.
You're
Imperial
not.
and Republic.
We're not going to nerf his merc. We're going to nerf.
You're getting nerfed.
We're going to nerf his commando. Is what
Everybody else needs to be mirrored on me, right?
Oh, my goodness.
But I am a healer. I play both scoundrel and operative, and trying to get them to buff that up a little bit, right? So, maybe I'll have some influence on that. That'll be really cool.
You should
right?
hear Keith be like, I don't think we need to nerf mercs at all. He's like, I don't think this is reasonable.
And
Oh,
then
can
I
we
got-
also buff operatives while we're at it?
Says Keith is going to. Yeah, I've got 4 tunes that are at 300. I have another one that's at 125, and I have a couple other ones that are like in 70s and something. So
I said,
just-
I just
Play.
have 2, man. I mean, I'm doing my best to catch up. I'm doing my best.
yeah, so
Oh, I read that in the roadmap. Quick sign up for anybody who doesn't know. There are going to be, if this is correct or
Yeah.
not, if you can confirm, there are going to be rewards for people who have multiple tunes at level 300 for the future.
so there'll be
Or are there plans for that?
there's legacy perks that are going
Legacy perks
that are going in right now.
So you can purchase the perks.
Once you hit 300, you can purchase the perk on that character so that all of your other characters level faster.
That's awesome.
yeah, it'll apply to. You'd say it's not an individual character perk.
Yeah,
It's
gonna,
a
an
a
account
legacy perk,
wide.
yeah.
So that's going to be if you hit 300 on one character, you can purchase with cartel coins and in-game credits for
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes.
for particular boosts. Do you guys have an idea for what amount those boosts are going to be, or not yet?
I'll know next week.
Okay,
We'll get that
Awesome.
out to you guys.
awesome,
Good stuff.
super cool.
Cool. Nice meeting everybody.
Guys, I
Later
want
on.
to, because we're coming up on the end, and I know there's food sitting over there, and I don't want to tie it up. Keith, thank you.
Thanks, Keith.
Thanks for coming in, dude. Dude, it's awesome. Thank you so much for just saying what's up. It's always good, dude.
He does exist.
He does exist. He's a real.
not an
He's a
actual
real boy.
It's a real boy.
So for you guys who are tuning in, we're gonna do 3 giveaways back to back right now.
Here, I'm gonna let you do the wrap up. I'll
All
let you
good,
do the
yeah.
wrap up to your
Yep.
last giveaway.
All good.
Thank you, everybody.
I'll announce or whatever.
Yeah, you
can
go.
take
You
your
do
time.
your thing, man.
Awesome,
Do your
dudes.
thing.
All right, so
stream, Joe.
we're coming up in the last phase of the broadcast. If you guys are tuning in with us right now, I want to say thank you very much for supporting the stream. We're in the last legs. It's the home stretch, guys. We're doing 3 giveaways in a row. The keyword is Keith in chat. The jelly tip, Death Thrones, it's right over there, and I'm gonna make sure I get a picture of everybody for you. That's from Adigalia. That's New Zealand chocolate. Yeah, so we got it right here. We got Musco with it. They're excited to try it. He's ready to go, dude. I told you I'd bring it, brother. I told you I would. It came a long way. That came a long, long way. All right. What's up, Kona? Good to see you, brother. We've got the official Kona. So you guys who are tuning in, we're doing 3 giveaways back to back. As soon as I pick them, we're doing 2 giveaways back to back. I'm going to announce the secret giveaway, and then I'm going to literally announce the winners and what you guys have won, how we're going to get in touch with you guys over the course of the next couple of days, and I'll take it from there. So for y'all who are tuned in, I'm going to draw the first. Oh, this is our 7th giveaway winner of the day. Give me 1 second. Phone, please work. Okay, Mr. Tool was our last winner. Mr. Tool was our last winner. Give me 1 second here. I just want to make sure I got everything written down so we can handle this because it's very serious, the order that you guys were picked. And who's next? Mr. Tool 27 or 24. Give me 1 second. All right. So the winner of our 7th giveaway of the day is going to be Phoenix 1. Congratulations. Phoenix 1, congrats! All right, Phoenix won. Congratulations. And we're going to draw one more right now. This is going to be for the absolute last of the coolest giveaways that you've ever seen this side of the galaxy. This side of the galaxy. Phoenix won. Congratulations. All right. I'm going to give you guys another keyword, and that keyword is going to be... apothecary. Barbecue sauce. The last keyword is going to be barbecue sauce. BBQ SAUCE. All right. Guys, the last keyword is going to be barbecue sauce. All right. Last keyword is barbecue. Again, for you guys who are tuning into the broadcast, we're coming up on this is the last legs. I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for supporting Star Wars The Old Republic. If you don't know who I am, you don't know what's going on today, my name is JoeNeverFails. I'm a professional full-time Twitch partner, Twitch broadcaster here at twitch.tv/JoeNeverFails. I'd like to help the average Joe. It's your everyday gamer, both inside and outside of gaming. Today, outside of gaming, I'm streaming live from Bioware Austin. This is one of the coolest opportunities I've ever had a chance to do. One of the coolest streams I've ever been able to put on. We're streaming live from Bioware. On top of the fact that we're streaming live from Bioware, I just finished up interviewing 3 members of the Bioware staff and 2 community members and 1 member of the art team. I'm incredibly grateful for this opportunity. It's been an absolute blast. I hope we were able to give you guys a little bit of an inside look into what's been going on in the stream. I'm going to have a quick wrap up and let you guys know from my perspective how this was happening, what this means to the future, and give you guys my final thoughts as soon as we pull this last winner. I'm going to pull this last winner right now, and then I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you my last thoughts. We're going to do one secret giveaway, and then I'm going to list off what you guys have won. All right. So our last giveaway winner of the moment before the secret giveaway is Gears of Gods 43. Congratulations. Gears of Gods 43. All right. And a secret giveaway real quick. Secret giveaway is going to be from Eric Musco, confirmed. We're going to be giving away a Cantina. This is Cantina 2017.
Yeah, it's from Star Wars Celebration in Orlando.
Pardon me. Star Wars Celebration. We're going to be giving away one of these t-shirts from Star Wars Celebration Orlando right now.
Extra small.
It's only extra small because it's from Musco. Got him. Got him. Yeah, he's wearing it. The giveaway command is going to be t-shirt. So for anybody who did not make it to Star Wars Celebration this year, if you would like a chance to win one of these, this is our first secret giveaway. Type in t-shirt in chat. That is the code. I'm going to draw this in about 1 minute, and then I'm going to keep you guys on the hook while I continue my final thoughts. I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts on this broadcast. I'm going to speak to the community of the stream. I'm going to speak to the community of Star Wars The Old Republic and any potential broadcasters, any other broadcasters that are streaming this game right now. I'm going to talk to you guys about what we've accomplished here and for the future. From my personal opinion, again, this is me talking to y'all. And then we're gonna wrap this up, and we'll get some more stuff for the. I'll let you guys know what's going on later on for the rest of the week. All right. If you guys have not yet done so, we've got this is our last chance to do this because it's the last giveaway. But if you would like